We're in the great state of Texas for the first time on the MaxPreps Game of the Week as we head to the District of Doom as a rivalry gets set to take place out on the field tonight at Duncanville High School. It is DeSoto versus Duncanville on the MaxPreps Game of the Week. Good evening, everyone. Jeff Kurtz alongside Zach Poff once again sporting the red tonight here for MaxPreps. And we've got a big game, a lot of teams seeing red on the field as well. There's a lot of intensity out there when we were out there just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, and you know, there's nothing really better than high school football in the state of Texas. And we got arguably the best rivalry in the state. At least it has been here over the last 5 years. Both these teams have done a tremendous job sending D1 talent to the next level, but they don't care about all that. They want to win the game tonight because the winner of this game will have a lot to say who wins the District of Doom. Well,
let's take a look at some of the key players for these two teams and see how this matchup starts to fare. And first, let's take a look at the visiting team, the DeSoto Eagles.
You know, DeSoto's got a lot of ballers, man, but we had to circle Booby Feaster. I almost called him Booby Miles because that's where he got the nickname from, but he's been an absolute playmaker since day one. First freshman to start under Claude Mathis at the wide receiver position, nearly 2,000 yards receiving and 27 touchdowns through his first 3 years because he was classified from 2027 to 2026. He's only a 16-year-old senior.
He's going west for his collegiate career. We've got the other side, Duncanville. KJ Ford, our key player, he's heading east.
Yeah, KJ Ford, absolute baller, man. You know, Duncanville's a program. They've had a lot of great edge rushers led by Colin Simmons. KJ Ford is the next one up.
Let's look at our keys to the game for these two teams, and obviously very similar. One of the things that you got to do here is, can you be legendary and can you be great? Well, that has to do with the two quarterbacks in this football game, Zach.
I love it, man. It doesn't get much better than the quarterback names in this one. Both playing great football this year. Legend Howell for DeSoto. He's been a little banged up this year. He's healthy, ready to go tonight. He's got a lot of good receivers to get the ball to, led by Feaster, and control your flow. It's a rivalry game, so you got to control your emotions. You can't get dumb penalties because sometimes those dumb penalties will turn into 7 points.
And then for Duncanville, when we say the great, it's Maximus The Great Denson, and that literally is his name. Max Denson, his middle name is The Great. He's a junior quarterback, and he's done a great job this year so far for Duncanville.
Yeah, I was counting how many times you're going to say great in that, but there's about 3 or 4. But he's been playing really good football. He's got to play great tonight if they want to beat DeSoto. And DeSoto, they haven't had a lot of success against Duncanville as of late. They've dropped 6 of the last 7, and they got to hold at home. If you're Duncanville, the last time these two teams played here, DeSoto got the best of them, so they want to get some of that revenge back.
Well, DeSoto and Duncanville, we've got great names at quarterback. We've got great players out on the field. We got a great matchup for you tonight here on the MaxPreps Game of the Week. Please stay with us, folks. Good football coming your way right after this.
Game day's here. You try to make it every week, but sometimes life gets in the way. With the NFHS Network, you can be there, catching those important moments live while on the go. And even if you're at the game, you're stuck.
Well, folks, we're right into this football game here at Duncanville High School. DeSoto receiving the kickoff and going left to right across your screen. They will have the football first in those green helmets.
They don't care about the 7:07 kickoff, huh? Hey, guys, it's 7:03. We're ready to go. Cortland Jackson, by the way, the senior on the return there. Good field position for the Eagles to start at their own 38.
Hey, look, when you're excited about a rivalry game, Zach, you're just going. That's how it works around here. So we are going with them. At the 38-yard line is where DeSoto will start out with the football to begin this game. And we get our first look at the quarterback, Legend Howell, who's in the backfield by himself. It's going to be Sarod Baker getting the start tonight. So we talked about Legend in the top of the broadcast, but they're going to run the Wildcat as DeSoto on the first play of the game and take it out to the 39-yard line for a gain of 1.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of Wildcat action as well. And you'll see Legend out there, I believe, too. He's been a little banged up this year, but he's pretty close back to 100%. But Baker, you know, he's played quarterback this year. He's thrown for 489 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. And he's also ran for 742 yards on 100 carries.
Yeah, averaging 7.4 yards a carry, 9 rushing touchdowns on top of it. So certainly a dual threat as this snap's going to go over his head, rolling out left, trying to make something out of a tough play, and he's going to throw it at the feet of our official on the far side. Incomplete. And let's take a look at the offense for DeSoto. And we were told that Legend was going to get the start tonight, but they've got Sarod Baker in the backfield. So he is listed to running back here on your screen, but is starting out at quarterback.
Yeah, and you see Legend Howell coming out on the field now, too. He's got a lot of playmakers to get the ball to, led by a 4-star Ethan Booby Feaster, a 4-star USC commit. Offensive line is led by the center, Jerbaylon Stewart, 2026 New Mexico commit.
And Duncanville is going to use an early timeout here, just seconds into the start of the game, as the ball at the 40-yard line, and that allows us to bring in the third member of our team, Chris Stonebreaker, who's down on the field right now and is taking in the sights. Chris, what do you have for us?
Oh, I got a lot for you right now. Look at this, though. You see that? I got a little bit of sauce on my lip for you. You know what I mean, Zach? And thanks to Jeff, we got ourselves some Benny barbecue, Texas barbecue. I always say, at the end of the day, things are bigger in Texas. I got my big bucket of popcorn. This night, it's
Well, it looks like maybe a little bit of trouble with the communications down there.
It couldn't handle all the props.
Let me translate. Large bucket of popcorn,
yes.
A lot of barbecue brought to us by Benny's Barbecue out of Waxahachie, Texas.
Somebody get that man a napkin.
Yeah, get that man a napkin and maybe some more barbecue. Here's an interception almost. It's going to be dropped. Boy, Duncanville looked like they had the deflection off of Howell, as getting his hands on the football was Yusuf Adigbite, but he could not hang on, and that would have been a huge play for Duncanville, but instead they're going to force a 3-and-out, and DeSoto's going to punt this football away.
Yeah, great job by Dylan Williams and Landon Barnes, too, getting pressure on Legend Howell. They had that screen set up perfectly, but a good job to get their paws on it and force a 3-and-out for the Eagles offense.
So 2 yards in total offense for DeSoto on their first possession, and they're going to trot out the punter. Back there is Deshaun Gordon awaiting the snap at his 25-yard line. Good snap. He gets the punt away. Low line drive. It's going to take a bounce inside the 20 and will be hauled in at about the 18-yard line. Return close to the 25, and that is where Duncanville will set up shop for their opening possession.
Yeah, Ayson Theus, a 3-star TCU commit on the return. Good job to pick up a few yards.
And Duncanville, they've already used that timeout, which I know they did not want to do defensively so early in the first half of play. We were inside of the first minute, 11:01 left on the clock here in the opening quarter. But now we get Max the Great Denson, who's out there.
And that really is his name.
Yes, I'm not just adding that as I'm trying to start some kind of trend here. That is his name, and he has done a pretty good job this year for Duncanville. 31-49 for 528 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 1 interception this year. And he's going to complete his first pass as the ball is thrown to the far side of the field, as Duncanville will take it out beyond the 30-yard line to the 31.
Yeah, you get a look at the junior wideout Trenton Yancey on that reception. 38 offers so far for the 4-star, and that's what Duncanville's offense is going to do. Maximus Denson is going to get rid of the ball really quick, allow these explosive playmakers at the wide receiver position to make moves in open field.
Gain of 6 on that first down play. Here is a jet sweep to the near side, and that should be enough for a Duncanville first down, as they're going to take it out to the 36-yard line for a gain of 5 and move the chains for Duncanville.
Yeah, and those are the two guys you're going to see a lot. Ayson Theus and Trenton Yancey, the two big playmakers for Duncanville. Braden Arnold getting the start at running back. Emmanuel Ellison, nearly 200 yards receiving this year on 7 grabs for 2 touchdowns. And it looks like Zach Turner's back. He's been a little banged up this year. That's a big plus for this offense as well. And the offensive line headlined by Travis Norris, a sophomore, and Kendrick Harris on the right side.
Yeah, a couple sophomores there on that right-hand side. We'll see how much room they can get for their teammates. As here's a quick hitter to the far side of the field, and DeSoto is ready. That is a nice tackle in the open field by Ethan Feaster, who's not only is Booby a wide receiver, but he's a pretty good corner as well.
Yeah, he's been starting on both sides this year for DeSoto, one of the rare two-way starters. D-line, you got DJ Rumpf and Adrian Redmond, a 2027 Texas Tech commit. Both those guys are only juniors, but the two that stand out on the D-line. Linebacking core headlined by Jace Hill Douglas leads the team with over 40 tackles. And secondary, Booby Feaster, you saw in that last tackle. He's really headlined the secondary this year. 2nd and 10. The man in motion is Ayson Theus. He's going to head back to the near side. Hand off to the running back this time. Great spin move at the line of scrimmage and then into the secondary. A first down again for Duncanville as they push onto the DeSoto side of the field. Yeah, nice run there by the junior Robert Singleton. Coming into this one, only 18 carries for 84 yards, but shows his, man, like you said, Jeff, what a spin move there.
And the offense in hurry-up mode, and they're going to give it to Singleton again, and he's got big yardage for his second carry inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, back-to-back big carries for the junior. And a good job to hold on to that ball, too. That was a nice tackle on the play by the safety, Rickshaw Hanks, but able to hold on to it.
He takes that ball down to the 20-yard line to Singleton. And staying in the game, he's going to get the carry again. Probably a little too much to ask for another double-digit gain, but he'll get one to the 19-yard line, and he'll set up 2nd and 9. Boy, back-to-back carries. He only has 18 carries for 84 yards and a touchdown coming in, Zach, like you mentioned. And then 2 carries. He almost has half that total coming into the game in just those two rushes.
Yeah, and DeSoto's a program. They've always had an established running back. Caden Durham a couple years ago. He's now starting at LSU. And then Malachi Medlock as well.
5-receiver set this time for Denson. As Duncanville in the red zone quickly here in the first quarter. This is a slant route underneath, and unable to hold on to it is Theus. Incomplete. And that'll set up a 3rd down and 9 for Duncanville.
He kind of hit him with one of those Brett Favre passes. Just a little too much muster on that one. And, if Theus can come up with that, there's a chance that the touchdown would have to just break a one-on-one tackle with the safety.
Yeah, and coverage on that play was Rickshawn Hanks. And he would have been out on an island by himself there if Theus had hung on to the football. Now Theus going to go into motion to the far side of the field. He's joined there by Emmanuel Ellison, one to the near side. That's Zach Turner. Denson's going to roll. He's going to throw. He's got a man open in the end zone, and that is Ellison with the catch and the touchdown. His 3rd of the year, and Duncanville, with 8:28 remaining here in the opening quarter, has the lead.
Yeah, just a great play call. I mean, whoever was guarding Ellison just lost him, and he's wide open in the end zone. Nice job by Maximus Denson to find the open target, and boom, 6 points for Duncanville.
Well, we asked on the open, can you be great? And Denson certainly starts out that way, finding an open receiver in the end zone. Emmanuel Ellison with the catch. And now the extra point try coming up here for Duncanville. Off the foot of Mitchell Wyatts, who's 12 of 16 on point afters this year. That kick on the way, and make it 13 of 17 is Duncanville with an early 7-0 lead. That's a 75-yard drive and a lot of nice runs by Singleton out of the backfield.
Yeah, this is the perfect start you want if you're Reginald Samples for Duncanville. You start up, you force a 3-and-out for DeSoto's offense. You get a look at the touchdown there. You can see Booby Feaster pointing to the safety. Hey, you got him, you got him. Nobody had him. Easy touchdown for Emmanuel Ellison.
That is a 19-yard touchdown pass.
You just look at this receiving corps too. I mean, you got Ellison there. He's got 3 offers: Montana State, Southern Miss, Delaware State. Trenton Yancey, a 4-star, 38 offers. Then you got Ayson Theus, who committed to TCU back in June. But then you also get Zach Turner back, a senior committed to SMU. He had 933 yards receiving as a junior and over 600 yards as a sophomore. This just shows you right here how even this matchup really is.
Yeah, 17-17 coming in. This is the rubber match in number 35. These two teams started playing in 1972, and there's been a lot of great games over the years. And Duncanville in front of a packed house here on their side of the field, looking to see if they can go up 18-17 in this rivalry. Wyatt's kick, second one in the game. This is a short one, going to be grabbed at the 23-yard line far side, and not a lot of running room there. Good coverage by the Panthers, and DeSoto will have the ball just shy of the 30-yard line.
And, they're kicking away from Booby Feast right there. You don't want to allow this guy a chance in the return game. He's explosive on all 3 phases of the game: special teams, defense, and obviously on offense. But yeah, you look at this series history. Duncanville's had a lot of the more recent success. They've won 6 of the last 7. And you get Legend Howe coming in to start this drive. And, this is what you want if you're DeSoto's offense. You want a guy who is a quarterback that throws the ball more. Sarad Baker, a running back who can play quarterback. But you got guys like Feaster. You want Howe to get him the ball.
Here's a quick pass to the outside, and connecting is Feaster with a football and a first down out to the 39-yard line for a gain of 11.
And, it's crazy to think. He reclassified from 2027. He was the #1 receiver in that class until he reclassified. He's only 16, and he doesn't turn 17 until May. So he's a very young senior, and he'll be young when he gets to USC.
Accomplished a lot already, and here we have our first penalty marker in the game as a running play for DeSoto will be just shy of the 45-yard line to the 44. Would be a gain of 5. However, they're going to pick up the penalty marker. Okay, well, they will be a 5-yard gain for DeSoto.
I think the ref just wanted to show he's been hitting his arms in the gym. That was a nice throw.
That was a good toss, and accurate at the line of scrimmage. Here's our look at the defense for Duncanville. As we mentioned, KJ Ford at the top of the broadcast. Here's a pass to the outside that will be caught at the 47-yard line for 3 more yards.
And that's really the strength of the defense of that defensive line with KJ Ford and Mr. Barnes. And then you got Jonathan Barnes in the secondary. Braylon Edwards, the guy to circle, a senior committed to SMU.
3rd down and 2 here for DeSoto, and this is a big 3rd down here early in the game. They want to keep this drive moving, get across midfield. Worst case scenario, flip the field on Duncanville. This is a high snap, but keeping it is on a quarterback keeper, and that's something that Duncanville is pretty prepared for. Baker was trying to take it to the right-hand side out of that wildcat formation. He's going to lose a yard. And now we've got a little bit of a extracurricular along the sideline there, as getting into it, Baker and Landon Barnes at the end of that play. But fortunately, coaches and officials got in there quickly and broke that up. You can see, though, some of the energy that both of these two teams are bringing on the field as it spilled onto the sideline there briefly.
Man, great play by Landon Barnes. Got off his block, and he's really contains Sherrod Baker there, gives him no chance to pick up the 1st down. And, you know, Claude Mathis is a very aggressive coach. Looks like he's got the offense still on the field, as we got about a 4th and 3 coming up here at their own 46.
Now, loss of 1 on that puts the ball back at the 46-yard line. Legend Howell in the game at quarterback now. Baker to his left in the backfield. On 4th down, they're going to give it to Baker on a running play, and he is going to get the 1st down to midfield. He needed 3 yards. He gets 4.
Yeah, gutsy play call, man. You got 4th and 3. You give it to, you know, one of your best playmakers. Baker just runs it right up the middle. Easy 1st down pickup for the Eagles. And, you know, both these offenses, man, they're hurry up and they're running play after play pretty quick.
Yeah, here's a pass down the side, and it's going to be hauled in at the 20-yard line. That
intercepted?
Or is it intercepted? Wow, that was a great catch by, is that Braylon Edwards with the pick?
Refs are discussing right now to see what the call is. Incomplete.
Incomplete.
Wow.
That's probably the way to go, because for a moment it looked like the receiver had it. Then Edwards comes away with a football, and
yeah, Feaster looked like he had it for a second. Edwards came up with it. I mean, unless that ball hit the ground when Feaster first was going to catch it, but it never hits the ground when they rolled over.
And then Edwards came away with the ball.
Yeah, I thought
from him. So
I thought that should have been an interception.
It almost is like the officials said, "What if we just did this again?"
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. It's like, we're not sure, so this works. Take 2.
2nd down and 10. Baker to the right-hand side. He will be stopped at the 46-yard line for a gain of 4. A lot of these players know each other, not just from playing against each other in this particular game over the years, but when your communities and your high schools are about 9 miles apart, you're going to run into each other around town and in youth leagues, and not just in football, but I'm sure in other sports that they played over the course of their lives as well. So there's a familiarity. I don't think it's led to contempt, but it's definitely led to a rivalry, as Howell throws underneath, and that pass is going to go off the hands of his intended target on the far side of the field. That was Antron Edmondson, who was trying to catch that football. It'll bring up 4th down at the 46-yard line of Duncanville.
Yeah, offense staying out there. You're going to see Claude Mathis, a very aggressive coach. You'll see them, well, it looks like they're punting after I started saying that. This is a kind of tough 4th down conversion. You get a good punt here, too. You set Duncanville back in their own territory.
Yeah, when you've got a running back like Baker, who's averaging over 7 yards a carry, 4th and 3, okay.
Yeah.
But 4th and 6, now we're kind of on the borderline. And so Gordon is out there for his 2nd punt. Panther return team set up inside their 15-yard line. They're running a fake. That is a gutsy call, and the pass is going to be completed for a 1st down. As hauling it in is Corleon Jackson, with the catch. And a 1st down for DeSoto on the fake punt.
Yeah, it's nice when you got Sherrod Baker lined up back there. He's got, you know, a lot of familiarity throwing the ball this year, and a great call. You know, the defense was fooled. An easy conversion on the fake punt.
3 first downs for DeSoto here in the first quarter as we're coming down to the 5-minute mark. 2 of them converted on 4th down. So the drive continues now at the Duncanville 37-yard line. Howell back in the game. He's going to give it to Baker after Baker with that great pass a moment ago. And now he's in the secondary heading for the end zone, and DeSoto is an extra point away from tying this up.
Wow, what a great run by Baker. Nice job, nice vision to bounce it outside. Had one man to beat and one-on-one. Good luck trying to bring down the TCU commit.
Boy, some gutsy play calling, like you said, Zach, and then the coaching staff rewarded their decisions by a Baker 37-yard touchdown run.
I tell you what, man, the senior tight end, Mark Duffy, did a great job on coming over and laying a huge block to really set the lane for the junior running back Baker, now with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year.
And now setting up for a 2-point conversion. Because when it's all working your way right now on 4th downs, you might as well go for 2 here, as now we've got a conversation taking place on the far side of the field. Claude Mathis, the head coach for DeSoto. We rolled right into this broadcast, folks, so we didn't get a chance to tell you much about the coaches. Reginald Samples coaching Duncanville. You get a look at Coach Mathis on the far side. Won state championships with DeSoto in 2022 and 23. Here's the 2-point attempt. High snap, going to go over the head of the quarterback, and now looking to make a play. Baker's going to roll right. Going to throw to the back of the end zone. He's going to overthrow it, and that 2-point conversion will not connect. And so 7-6 is our score. Duncanville holds on to the lead.
And Texas, too, in this state, it's the same as NFL and college, where if you get an interception, you got a chance to return it for 2 points as well. So good job by Baker to at least not turn it over there, and tried to find his man in the corner of the end zone, but thrown out of bounds.
Well, and that's probably the safest play he could make right there, is either your guy's going to get it or nobody's going to get it. Some ball kid over there on the end zone's going to get it.
Yeah, and you know, you're talking about both coaches. Both these are two of the best coaches, not just in the state of Texas, but the entire country. Claude Mathis, he was head coach at DeSoto from 2008 to 2014, and he came back to DeSoto in 2019. He's got 147 and 34 in both his stints. And, you know, he's done a tremendous job, and he led DeSoto to those 2 6A D2 state titles in 2022 and 2023.
Yeah, and if DeSoto wins this football game tonight, he'll have as many wins with DeSoto as he did in his career at Lincoln.
Oh, wow.
So he's one away from matching what he did at Lincoln High School. As we get a look at the DeSoto band, set to receive back there is Ayson Theus, standing at about his 5-yard line. We've got 2 very good bands here tonight as well. DeSoto, you had a glimpse of a moment ago. Duncanville down below us here to the left-hand side, below the press box. 4:50 left here in the first quarter.
And then you look at, you know, Reginald Samples. He's got 353 career wins, 121 and 20 since he took over as the Duncanville head coach. And he led them to back-to-back state titles in 2022 and 2023. Those were 6A D1.
Was a MaxPreps Coach of the Year in 2022. As they're going to try to keep the ball away from Theus, and unfortunately slipping down at the 9-yard line. Boy, that was an opportunity to maybe to get a little bit of a return, but Braden Arnold couldn't get his feet underneath him at the 10, and he slips down right there. So officials are going to spot this deep in Duncanville territory, and that is where the Panthers will have the football for their second possession of the quarter.
In that year that Reginald Samples won the state title, a lot of people don't realize how much he had to go through for Duncanville. They had that game won in 2018 against North Shore, arguably the best high school football game of all time. North Shore connected on a Hail Mary to win state title that took it away from Reginald Samples winning. The next year they lost again to North Shore, and then they finally got it done in 2022. Led by, you know, that team was loaded with Keelan Russell, Caden Durham, and then DeCorian Moore, and Colin Simmons.
Well, Denson is out there with 5 receivers on first down. He's got single coverage on the far side, and he's going to connect with Ellison. Ellison, who caught that touchdown pass in their first possession, is going to pick up a quick first down for the Panthers. Get a little bit of breathing room out to the 20-yard line, a gain of 11.
Yeah, I think there's a chance, Jeff. We see a lot of points in this game. Both teams have very explosive offenses, and they move pretty fast, too. A lot of hurry up for both these teams.
Yeah, not a lot of time to show replays. They're going to keep our director, Carl Harper, on his toes throughout the course of this game.
First, they start the game 4 minutes before 7:07, and now we got these hurry-up offenses. It's been fun for Carl, man.
Here is a dive play across the 22-yard line for Duncanville on first down. Singleton the carry. Singleton getting featured a lot tonight so far here in the first quarter.
Yeah, he had, I mean, really those 2 big runs is really what set up that drive for the touchdown pass from Denson to Ellison.
And he's going to come out of the game right now as Duncanville will empty the backfield. 3 receivers in a bunch to the near side, 2 to the far side. No tight ends. Rolling out is Denson, trying to run away from trouble. We got a penalty marker down. We've got Denson down at the 10. And the penalty marker is at the point of the sack.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a face mask if I had to guess. Aiden Miner there, the 6', 290-pounder getting to Denson.
Officials just confirming. And it is going to be a personal foul face mask that's going to go against DeSoto. That's Ricky Heron II, our referee tonight. Michael Washington, the umpire. Connor Magnuson, the head line judge. Brandon Nunn is the line judge. David Hormel, the field judge. Side judges Keith Laurent and Jamie Cantrell, our back judge here tonight. And the referees were just as excited about this game as any of the players were, or as much as we were, Zach.
Yeah, it makes sense, man. This is, you know, one of the best rivalries in the state of Texas, one of the best rivalries in all of America.
A first down for Duncanville as they're running the option, and keeping it and sliding down at the 44-yard line is Denson. They did a little misdirection with a wide receiver going right and then ran the option left. That last first down was the 5th of the first quarter for Duncanville, and this is the first penalty of the game against DeSoto at 15-yarder. As you can see, Denson sliding down there. Actually going to spot him at the 42, it looks like. Thought he might have gotten a couple more out of that, but still a 5-yard gain. Now he's going to hand it off, and here's Singleton trying to get to the outside with a stiff arm. He's going to dive forward close to the 45-yard line, actually right at the 45, which will set up 3rd and 2.
Yeah, nice job by the DB there, kind of controlling the edge and able to force him out of bounds. It's 3rd and short. Good position for Duncanville.
That was Aiden Marshall on the tackle. He's got a little bit of everything there. As you had the stiff arm from Singleton, gave him a couple extra yards, but nice job by Marshall hanging on there and making the play. 3rd and 2. Singleton again. He needs to get to the 47, and I think he only got a yard.
Yeah, nice job by DeSoto's front 4, really making it tough to find a hole there. Nice job to bring him down. You got a 4th and 1.
And the first big 4th down decision of the game for the Panthers coaching staff. And they're taking a long, hard look at this one. See if they want to call a timeout here, or if they're, and that's exactly what they're going to do. So they're going to call a timeout with 2:08 remaining here in the first quarter. And really, I mean, an important decision here in a game when both teams can score a lot. And you saw the explosiveness of DeSoto on their second possession. Obviously, Duncanville scoring on their first, but you have a chance to give DeSoto a long field, but we'll see what they decide to do here. Let's look at some of the talent that's been generated off of these two high schools programs over the last few years, and the Eagles, that's an impressive list.
Yeah, 8 players drafted since 2015, currently the 7th most. They're tied for the 7th most, that is, since 2015. Most players drafted, IMG #1 with 25. Some of those guys, Byron Murphy, a first-round pick by the Seahawks, Shamar Turner, a second-rounder in this last draft, and Ed Ingram back in 2022 by the Vikings. He's now on the Houston Texans.
Well, Duncanville is going to go for it here, or at least they're lining up that way on 4th and 1.
Oh, boy.
And then you've got movement along the line of scrimmage. You had a DeSoto defender deep in the backfield. That was Trenton Yancey.
Yeah, Claude Mathis kind of bailed out the offsides penalty, called a timeout before.
Oh, he did. Okay.
And then, getting back to all the players drafted by DeSoto, I got a trivia question for you, Jeff. Who do you think the highest DeSoto player ever drafted was? He was number 2 overall. He played in a Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos.
Okay. All right, I know the answer here.
What we got?
Von Miller?
That's correct.
Okay.
He was drafted number 2 overall. He recently had his jersey retired by DeSoto. That's a pretty easy decision.
Yes.
Von Miller, one of the best defensive players, one of the best edge rushers in NFL history.
Well, and I paused long enough that if this was Jeopardy, somebody else would have buzzed in before me, I have a feeling. But I appreciate the extra beat or two you gave me.
Yes, of course.
That one.
I got you, man.
when you're in a competition of one,
Yes.
everyone at home is shouting it out at their TV screen or at their phone, and
luckily you're the one with the mic, so you're
That's
the one
right.
that gets the answer. So who cares what anyone's saying at their TV? But thanks for watching.
we do care about the fans.
Yes.
Not trying to imply otherwise.
No.
So the officials waiting for the timeout to conclude here. Just Duncanville's coming out in a 5-receiver set on a 4th and 1, really trying to spread things out, and DeSoto's defense trying to figure out where to set up. Rickshawn Hanks, the safety, was on the right-hand side. Now he's going to move over to the left-hand side where the 3 receivers are. Not a lot of guys in the box. Now Duncanville's going to tighten this up and motion Singleton into the backfield. He's standing to Denson's right. On 4th and 1, they're going to give it to... No, Denson's going to keep it himself. Great read by the quarterback. He's got the first down easily into DeSoto territory at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, great decision by Maximus The Great Denson there, and put it right in the running back's stomach, pulled it back. Easy first down run for Denson. This year, he's got 13 carries for $124 and 1 touchdown, so he can beat you with his feet as well. And, you know, a lot of Duncanville quarterbacks that we've seen in the past have that ability. Keelan Russell as of late. And then obviously before that, Jaquindon Jackson.
Well, and he did a great job reading that play. Kylan Nobles crashed down from the left-hand side of the defensive line, the offensive line's right-hand side, and Denson read that perfectly. This time he's going to give it to Singleton. Singleton is going to disappear into a pile of white shirts at the line of scrimmage. He's actually going to lose a yard to the 47.
Yeah, nice job. You saw Kadrian Redmond and Aiden Miner there, both in the backfield to negate the run. Loss of 1, sets up 2nd and 11. And that's really where a lot of football games are won and lost, is you got to win that trench battle, especially when you get, you know, 2 big offensive line and a big defensive line. Whoever wins that battle is going to really have a chance to walk out with a dub here tonight.
Under a minute to play here in the opening quarter. Denson now with a offset I formation left. Looking to throw. He's going to throw and find a man open for a first down, and then picking up a block. Ellison once again becoming the favorite target in this game, as he will go out of bounds at the 31-yard line.
You got to love that from Trenton Yancey as well, to go down there and try and block for his wide receiver mate. Nice job by the offensive line, though, to give Denson plenty of time, and Ellison able to find open space and move the chains.
Did a nice job finding an open gap in this against this zone defense, as here's a 2-yard carry to the 29-yard line. That was Singleton.
And that's really the strength of this Duncanville offense, is they have so many good playmakers at the wide receiver position, especially getting Zach Turner back.
Well, we thought Braden Arnold was going to be getting most of the carries tonight, but it's been the junior Singleton who is going to get a play-action fake here, pass to the far side, and with a burst of speed into the end zone again goes Duncanville. This time it's Ayson Theus. A 29-yard touchdown pass on just a little wide receiver screen to the right-hand side.
Yeah, and he's really got to thank Emmanuel, Ellison, and Zach Turner there. Great job of blocking for those 2 wide receivers, and that really opened up the lane for Ayson Theus. 3rd receiving touchdown on the year for the future Horned Frog. Yeah, great play call. I mean, both touchdowns for Duncanville have been outstanding play calls. They knew it was going to work when they set it up. You saw that DeSoto just didn't have enough guys on defense there, so you had 2 wide receivers blocking the 2 guys trying to make the play. Easy touchdown for Theus.
This became a numbers game on that right-hand side, as Wyatt's on for the extra point. And now we've got movement at the line of scrimmage, and penalty markers fly in.
False start. Kicking team, number 75.
That's going to be a 5-yard penalty against Duncanville, their first of the night. Each team now with a penalty. That 15-yard face mask penalty was pretty big. That was earlier on in the drive, but that was a 91-yard touchdown drive that Duncanville just orchestrated, starting at their own 9-yard line.
Yeah, first one was, what, 75 yards? So they've had to really earn their touchdowns here, but 2 great drives for the Panthers offense.
Wyatt's extra point from 5 yards further back.
Got a flag on the far side.
And now we're going to look at this one again. We got cheerleaders out on the field for Duncanville, but it might be a little bit early for them. Duncanville seems to be indicating it's against DeSoto.
5-yard penalty. Remains a try.
All right, time to go, cheerleaders.
Yep, and they're hustling right back off. So it's going to be offside against DeSoto.
That's tough, too, to jump off sides there, because the extra point was missed, but now they get another crack at it.
I thought you were going to say it's tough when you run out there as a cheerleader thinking that you just got points and you're all set up and then you got to come off.
Yep. They'll get their time to shine here in probably about 23 seconds.
They're all really, it's all leaning on Wyatt's and his ability to connect here.
And most importantly, it's relying on the refs. They don't want to see another flag and another attempt here. They want to get out and dance.
So Wyatt's, who's now 13 of 17 on the year for PATs, is setting up. They're going to step a yard back. Usually you kick this one from the 10-yard line for a 20-yard attempt. He's going to go back one more yard at the 11. Good snap again. Kick on the way. Result
Another flag
is good on the kick, but now we have a penalty marker from the near side official.
Well, at least this one's offsides. Duncanville can just, well, the play would have been dead if he was offsides.
Duncanville assuming that the extra point is.
These poor cheerleaders, man.
I know they don't know what to do.
I think they're leaving.
They are. They're just wandering back. They're like, well, hopefully we'll score again.
Wow.
And we'll get another opportunity. Even the mascot's looking a little bummed. The Panthers, there's a couple of Panthers that are walking back. And
looks like, you got the Panther and the Pantherette.
Personal foul. Illegal block with other waist. 15-yard penalty. Retry.
All right, so that's actually going to be a block below the waist against Duncanville. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. So,
I mean, it's pretty much going to be like a NFL PAT now. Even a few yards further now, it's be about 35, 36 yards.
He's now out to the 19-yard line is Wyatt. So he doesn't have any field goal attempts this year. This might be his longest PAT of the season. This is going to be a 36-yarder, Zach.
Mark this day in history, man. The longest point after attempt ever.
Good snap. Kick. It's got the distance.
Yeah.
It's good.
Attaboy.
Wyatt doesn't care if it's from 25, 15, 36.
He had to do a little dance for that one, man.
Sure.
He earned that one.
Well, the cheerleaders didn't get to. Somebody's got to.
And poor Carl, man. He's been trying to replay the touchdown, but he had to wait till the PAT was good. But just watch these blocks on the outside here. You got Ellison clearing the way along with Zach Turner. Ayson Theus shows his speed, man. Tutty for the TCU, the future TCU Horned Frog.
Yeah, I just got an angle on Aiden Marshall, and Marshall couldn't catch up.
Yeah.
So the extra point good, 14-6 our score. You see a very happy Ayson Theus on the sideline with his third touchdown reception of the year. His fourth touchdown scored overall. He has run the football a little bit.
And he was one of Keelan Russell's favorite targets last year as a junior. He had 42 catches for 596 yards, but has more touchdowns this year now than he did last year with only 2 touchdown receptions.
So Wyatt, who's getting a ton of airtime here right now.
Yeah.
He's been our most featured kicker. He's been on the screen for the last 5 minutes, kicking extra points, 3 of them. And now the kickoff, which is bobbled and going to be fallen on by DeSoto. The Eagles will have the football at their own 26-yard line. Yeah,
and, Booby Feaster kind of snuck over there to try and get a return on that and almost didn't get a chance, but luckily for him, he's able to jump on it. DeSoto takes over. Yeah,
that's one of those short hops. You either have to take a step back and let it bounce to you, or you got to catch it before it hits the ground. So now Coach Mathis gathers the offense on that far side of the field. We have 3 seconds left here in the first quarter of play on the MaxPreps Game of the Week. Jeff Kurtz alongside Zach Poff here in Duncanville, Texas, where you can see for miles from the top of this press box.
Yeah, this is a great setup, man. It's beautiful.
And now DeSoto back out there. Legend Hal at quarterback is going to hand it off to Baker on first down. And Baker is going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage and will lose a yard to the 25-yard line, setting up 2nd and 11 as the teams will switch sides for the start of the second quarter.
That is the end of the first quarter.
Well, it's been an interesting first quarter of play. A lot of quick offense back and forth. A 14-6 lead for Duncanville after one. We'll be back with the second quarter here on the MaxPreps Game of the Week right after this.
Our #1 priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools that protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football.
You're going to think right here, Duncanville, DeSoto, and again, now in this area alone, Phil, DeSoto, 4 miles, 22.
Well, it looks like Chris with a lot to say, but we're unable to get the communications dialed in, unfortunately. But
yeah, and what? Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you get the triangle there. You got Duncanville, DeSoto, and then Cedar Hill, 3 powerhouse programs. You know, Cedar Hill, where Joey McGuire used to coach. He's now at Texas Tech, has them ranked in the top 10, but he really got them established at Cedar Hill. Won a couple of state titles with the Marcus Lodge and Cedric Ware, and then obviously very familiar with DeSoto and Duncanville.
Well, on 3rd and 13, after another 2-yard loss on a running play, rolling out is Howell looking down the field. He's going to throw a deep ball. He's got a man open, and that pass is going to be caught in Duncanville territory at the 45-yard line. What a huge catch by Cortland Jackson.
Yeah, and, you know, nice job by Legend Howell to get outside the pocket and make a nice throw downfield. Yeah, you saw the pressure there by Landon Barnes, able to get outside and nice throw. Even better catch by the senior wide receiver.
You only need to get 1 foot in bounds at the high school level, and he got 2. That was
on Sundays.
Great footwork. You might as well practice it now if you want to be playing on Sundays a few years from now.
And, you know, DeSoto has done a good job sending guys to play on Sundays.
Howell's going to throw a fade to the near side. He's got a man open. That's Feaster. He's in the end zone. Touchdown.
You leave this dude one-on-one, it's usually not going to end well. Feaster, great break off the line of scrimmage, and a nice throw by Legend Howell. You got a flag on the far side, so I have to wait and see what this is. Ineligible downfield, doesn't count.
Wow. Boy, on a fade route, too, that's a little unusual. I mean, on a screen pass, you see that happen fairly regularly, but an ineligible man downfield on a fade route is a little bit unusual.
Let's see, yeah, it's got to be, yeah, right there. I couldn't get the number. I think it was Poe Siavi, number 54. And just, you know, that's tough because, I mean, Legend Howell didn't even hold on the ball for that long. He knew he had Booby Feaster one-on-one. Got rid of it pretty quick, but Siavi just kind of wandering down the field and went past that threshold for the penalty.
Well, I think for Siavi, he hit his guy, blocked him, and then you can't fault the kid for going, well, there's no one else in front of me. I may as well just keep moving forward. That's what you're taught to do as an offensive lineman. But unfortunately, he moved too far down the field, and that touchdown catch from Feaster from Howell is called back. So now 1st and 15 back at the 47-yard line of DeSoto. They're going to try the same play again, this time a different receiver, and it's going to be deflected away. That's a nice bit of defense there by Jonathan Barnes, the cornerback on that side, as Antron Edmondson was the intended receiver.
Yeah, nice one-on-one coverage. It kind of deked it over to Booby and had that one-on-one down the field, but Jonathan Barnes not fooled. 6'1", 185-pound junior corner. Yeah, nice job in one-on-one coverage.
Edmondson ended up playing a little bit of defense there.
And if you're Howell there, too, you got to try and get that ball towards the sideline, kind of left it more on the inside part of the field, allowed Barnes to make a nice play on the ball.
So 2nd and 15. 4 receivers set, 1 back in the backfield is Baker. Play action to Baker. A quick pass underneath. Feaster is going to get a block, and then he's going to fall down at the 46-yard line. He'll make up that penalty yardage plus another 2 yards, so a gain of 7 on the play. We'll set up 3rd and 8.
Yeah, nice job again by Jonathan Barnes to kind of come in and blow up the play. It looked like Feaster was going to be able to keep his balance and maybe bounce it outside, but just got tripped up by Jonathan Barnes. And if you're DeSoto here, too, you don't got to pick up all 8 yards on this 3rd down. You're probably looking at 4-down territory if you pick up positive yardage on this 3rd down play.
They're already 2 for 2 on 4th down conversions in the first quarter. Play clock down to 5. Actually, it looks like they're going to reset that to 25. Our officials say, hey, it got started a little too quickly. Baker's going to get the carry running right. He's inside the 45-yard line and ends up in a pile at the 43 where forward progress will be stopped. And that will set up 4th down. They need to get to the 38-yard line, so they're about 5 yards shy of a 1st down. And Baker, who is, I think, hoping that the offense would stay out on the field, is now watching the punt team come out. Of course, that doesn't necessarily mean much, given that DeSoto faked it the last time.
If they run another fake punt, that's pretty ballsy. But it's nice, too, when you do have, Sherrod Baker there kind of as the up back. He can take the snap. He can make a throw. He can also get out and run.
Yeah, studying at the Dan Campbell School of Trick Plays.
Yeah, just go for it.
And now a whistle, and Duncanville is going to use the timeout here. That's their final timeout.
Oh.
Well, after the last fake punt, they want to make sure they aren't fooled again.
Don't be surprised, Jeff, if DeSoto comes back with their offense after the timeout was called as well. I'm calling it now.
All right, well, Deshaun Gordon is hanging out there, the punter, number 83. He's to that right-hand side right there. We'll see what they end up doing, but now they're moving everybody over to the sideline. So this might be a quick decision on the coach's part for DeSoto.
Yeah, and, getting back to what Chris Stonebreaker was saying earlier, talking about Cedar Hill, DeSoto, and Duncanville being so close together. You look at this district of doom, all three are going to be players in who determines winning this district. DeSoto 3-2 overall, but 2-0 in district play. Cedar Hill 4-1. They're off to their best start since 2020 when Caden Salter was their quarterback his senior year. And they're 2-0. 4-1 overall. The only loss came to Allen, 38-0. And Allen really has arguably their best team since they won state with Theus back in 2017.
Now, all these schools in the 6A Region 2 District 11 here in Texas, and it's one of the toughest districts and or leagues in the entire nation, as we've got a false start that's going to be called as DeSoto was going to go for it. The offense was back out on the field, so Zach, you get a point.
But does it count because the play didn't actually count because now they're going to punt?
Well, they did show up. You didn't say it had to be a completed play.
True.
You just said they were going to be back out on the field, but now it looks like the punting unit is going to jog back on, so...
Yeah, it looked like that was, I couldn't tell if it was Feaster that got off to the early start or if it was Edmondson, but
that 5-yard penalty against DeSoto is their 4th penalty of the first half for 30 yards as Gordon on to punt, at least in theory. I'm not putting anything past the Eagles at this point in time. He's standing inside his 40-yard line, now backing up close to the 35. He'll take a couple steps forward. Duncanville back to receive inside their 15.
And, Duncanville's kind of in that, we think you're faking defense right here.
They are. And they are faking. And Baker is going to start moving left. Now he's going to roll right. He's going to throw, and that pass is incomplete. Well, Duncanville smelled a rat in the woodpile, and there was certainly one there. And Baker tried to make something happen, but throws incomplete. And so the Panthers will take over with good field position.
Yeah, they just had that played perfect. They knew that there was a chance at a fake. Baker just trying to roll out, make a throw. And tough when you have your running back there to, try and make a throw when he's 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I like what Coach Mathis is doing, though.
Yeah, he's always been very aggressive. You see DeSoto go for it a lot on 4th down. He's definitely one of the most aggressive coaches in the Lone Star State. And he's had a lot of success.
Well, the ball is at the 48-yard line of Duncanville. They're out of timeouts, but plenty of time left here in the first half. They're already up by 8. And they've scored both times they've touched the football. Here on 1st down, a quick hitter to the outside. That pass is going to be caught and forced out of bounds with a 1st down at the 40-yard line, a gain of 12. That catch was made by Trenton Yancey.
Yeah, man, Panthers offense, they're just doing a good job. You've seen this all year with Max Denson, too. He gets rid of the ball very quick. He allows these wide receivers to make plays. And you get these dudes in the open field, they're hard to tackle. 8
first downs in the first half right now for Duncanville. Here's a pass to the outside that was a little bit in front of Theus, and unable to hold the block was Yancey on that far side. Good defensive play by the Eagles. It's a gain of 1 to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, nice job by the junior Samaj Richardson, 5'8", $165, makes a nice tackle there. But yeah, like you said, that was just kind of a tough throw. He kind of almost threw him into the tackle.
You know, Richardson, though, he had to come off a block.
Yeah.
He's undersized on that side, and he's making a solo tackle with a receiver trying to block him simultaneously. That's not an easy play to make.
Yeah, he's listed as the backup, but he's been getting a lot of play time this year for Claude Mathis.
And here's a receiver end around, and a nice job getting into the backfield was J'Anthony Stevens, the corner.
Yeah.
Who tripped up the ball carrier and was able to stop him for a 4-yard loss back to the 43-yard line. I believe that was Zach Turner on the carry. Or excuse me, no, it was Ayson Theus.
Yeah, great job there. And then Adrian Redmond finishes it. Not, you know, that's tough if you're a receiver on the kind of the trick play, the end around. You got the 6'4", 300-pound junior defensive lineman coming over to wrap you up at the end.
Well, it's not often that a corner will get that deep in the backfield.
Yeah, it was a nice play by Stevens.
So Denson with a 3rd and 13 situation, drops back to throw, throwing to the right-hand side, a little out route that's going to be caught about the 33-yard line. That'll be hauled in by Turner. And that will set up a 4th down and about 3.
Yeah, great throw by Denson there, because he had a rusher right in his face, did a good job to get his foot down, make a strong throw. And now you got a fourth and manageable here, 4th and 3.
Just a quick release, almost 3/4 arm, close to sidearm on that throw. Might as well go for it here, though. You're too far for a field goal, as much as we would love to see Wyatt's back out on the field.
Yeah. This is a big play for DeSoto's defense. They got to find a way to get a stop on defense.
Theus motions out of the backfield. Pass underneath. That pass is caught. A 4th down conversion is going to result in a touchdown for Duncanville.
Another great play call. I mean, they got Trenton Yancey in open space. Denson saw him right away, and Trenton Yancey does the rest.
Boy, you're just looking for 3 yards, and you end up with 33 in a score.
Yeah, great job. Just found open space, caught it, turned on the Jets. House call.
Wow.
So now all 3 guys, Theus, Yancey, and Ellison, all with touchdown grabs here tonight.
Yeah, Denson's spreading the love.
Yeah. Trenton Yancey came in as a leading receiver with 15 grabs for 247 yards. That was his 3rd touchdown on the year.
And Wyatt's for the extra point out of the hold of Emmanuel Ellison. That is good, and it is a 21-6 game. And Duncanville, Zach, has had the ball 3 times. They've scored all 3 times, and now the cheerleaders get to make their appearance because there's only 1 extra point attempt.
But yeah, just you know, Denson once again, quick throw, and Yancey just did a good job finding some open space. He just cared about getting the 1st down, and then boom, turns into a touchdown. Yeah, Duncanville's offensive coordinator, he's doing a good job dialing up some plays here, especially on those 3 touchdowns.
Well, and then you had that one that was called back against DeSoto where they had a great connection to Feaster, Howell to Feaster, but an ineligible man downfield brings the ball back, and then ultimately trying to go for it on 4th down on a fake punt for the 2nd time.
Yeah.
Eagles unable to convert, and then 52 yards later, Duncanville's in the house.
Yeah, Jason Lavender, the offensive coordinator here for Duncanville. He's having himself a 1st half.
Yeah, pretty much every play he's running is working.
Yeah, like you mentioned too. I mean, three drives, 3 touchdowns. That's exactly what you want when you're a play caller.
Well, Mitchell Wyatt's now after his 3rd point after.
And how big was that ineligible downfield penalty on DeSoto? He took away a touchdown from Feaster, and then Duncanville comes right back and gets a touchdown.
Here's a short kick. That's a live football. Fair catch going to be called at the 29-yard line by the Eagles, and that's where they will start out with the ball. And looking to see, they've been able to move the football, but can they stay out of their own way a little bit?
Yeah.
I mean, you hate to say, Zach, so early in a game that, oh, this is a turning point, but it's certainly a point to mark, which was that ineligible man downfield penalty, and you're unable to score. The touchdown gets taken off the board, and then Duncanville responds with a touchdown. So even though we've got a ton of time left just in this 1st half alone, much less the entire 2nd half, we'll just have to keep an eye and see how much that one play makes a difference in the game.
Yeah, and dude, looking at Duncanville's defense, haven't noticed KJ Ford out there for the Panthers defense. Obviously had a situation with Waxahachie earlier in the year, but their defensive line still playing great, led by Landon Barnes.
Here's a pass to the outside that is going to be, looks like incomplete, and That will set up a 2nd down and 10. Looks like we've got Chris Stonebreaker. Hopefully our connection's working. Not yet. Okay, well, we're working on it, folks. We're working on it. That's the tease. That's the tease, folks. We're going to be going to Chris Stonebreaker.
People are getting ready. They can't wait for Stone to come back, man.
Next time we switch to the other side of the field, Duncanville gets the football back. We'll go down to Chris. So, folks, if you were going to take a break then, you probably don't want to, as we'll get our first full conversation with Chris Stonebreaker. Here's a 1-yard gain to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, nice job. Dylan Williams, a 6'1", 280-pound senior, getting there in the backfield. So now, boom, you got 3rd and 10 after an incomplete pass on 1st down and then a run for no gain on 2nd down. This is a big play for the Eagles offense. They got to at least find a way to give their defense a little rest over there on the sideline.
Yeah, 3rd down here. And they need to get to the 40. Howell takes a snap. Looking to throw. Now he's going to roll out. We got a penalty marker down. We've got a pass across the middle. And this is going to be a long play for the Eagles inside the 20, inside the 10, breaking tackles. And what an effort by Edmondson. But it might be for naught here, as it's likely this one's going to come all the way back.
Yep, this is going to be the 2nd penalty on DeSoto that takes a touchdown off the board.
A holding call against the Eagles, their 5th penalty of the first half. That would have gone for 70 yards, Zach, but you heard the lack of enthusiasm on my touchdown call there because, boy, that was right where you get a holding call, and that's exactly what it was.
And that was an easy call. Landon Barnes, great job to get right by 71 Camtrell Polk, the right tackle.
Boy, Howell's got to be thinking, what more do we need to do here? We've had 2 long touchdown plays.
Yeah, Claude Mathis, not thrilled.
No, he's got to be frustrated by that. But, you've got a lot of football to play. You just got to keep digging.
Yeah, in Polk's defense, if he doesn't get that holding penalty, that's an easy sack for Landon Barnes, 4-star Ole Miss commit.
Though Polk very upset with himself. He was kind of smacking his helmet there a moment ago, just in frustration. He's doing the best he can out there against a very good pass rusher. And now a running play for DeSoto. They're going to take it to the 21-yard line for a gain of 2. And that will set up 4th down. And I know Coach Mathis has a big bag of fake punts that he likes to pull out, but I don't know if this is the best time. Gordon is going to be standing inside his 10-yard line on 4th and about an acre.
And you get a look at Landon Barnes there, number 8 for Duncanville. That just shows you his ability, because he's a great edge rusher. He gets after the quarterback, but there he made a nice job to get off the block and makes the tackle there.
So Gordon standing at his 5-yard line. Duncanville set up the return at their own 40. Low snap. Gordon, high kick, short kick. This ball is going to bounce and then bounce in Duncanville's favor and will be grabbed by the Eagles at around the 26-yard line. So Duncanville, great field position, and Chris with great field position down on the field. What do you have for us?
Hey, how are you guys doing? I'm going to try to get through one hit all the way just for you guys without any audio stuff. Now, when you think Texas high school football, you, of course, think the fans, but you also think the stadiums. Yesterday, I got to go up to North Dallas, and I got to see some of the high school cathedrals here in Texas. Now, Allen Eagle Stadium, $65 million it costs to build it. Prosper, it's the Children's Health Stadium, $48 million. McKinney ISD Stadium, $70 million. And the new $35 million Melissa Stadium. Coach Dell, Kenny Dell Stadium. If you haven't been to North Texas, North Dallas, to see some of these cathedrals, you are in for a treat. What they spend and how they do it and the attention to detail is like no other anywhere in this country when it comes to high school football stadiums. It was a pleasure to go to see them. I don't know if you guys got to see it, but look at some of those drone shots. It's incredible.
Those are some pretty great shots. As a pass from Denson to Turner went incomplete. Here is that Coach Kenny Deal Stadium, and wow, that's a pretty fantastic.
Yeah, and you know that Allen Stadium, that was kind of built right when Kyler Murray was there in his heyday in 2012, and those are 4 beautiful stadiums, and they really say nobody does it like Texas for a reason.
And here's a slant route that is going to get into the end zone again. Duncanville with another touchdown pass. Theus this time the recipient from Denson.
He's counting on his fingers, man. That's one, and that's number two. And Denson, man, he's tough. He stays in the pocket, knew he's going to take a big hit here, and just gets rid of it, rips it quick. And nice job by Ayson Theus, the 3-star senior wide receiver. He's a game breaker, man.
That is a 26-yard touchdown pass as Theus is able to absorb a hit, hang on to the football, and then get in the end zone.
And that's, you know, we touched on in the keys, and be great. And Maximus Denson has been great so far here in the first half. And we also hit on DeSoto's was they can't have penalties and they got to control their emotions. And those 2 penalties really is what hurt this offense.
As Wyatt's extra point try is good. 28-6 the score. Well, we got a hit from Chris Stonebreaker. We finally stopped stepping on his extension cord, so that actually worked. And then shortly after that, Benson finds Theus again for a 26-yard touchdown pass to give his team a 28-6 lead.
Yeah, great play call and nice job by Denson, man. He took a hit, but he got rid of that ball quick and right in the hands, Ayson Theus tutty.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Denson so far, excuse me, because he's doing a really good job of reading the defense and then getting the ball to his receiver. I mean, I've only seen one pass so far that maybe was a little bit off.
Yeah.
That was that one screen pass he threw to Theus that was kind of led him a little too far and ran him right into a tackler, but that still gained a couple of yards.
Yeah, he's playing great, man. He came into this year in a little QB battle. He won the job. And he's having a great junior season. He's landed a couple offers so far, UT, San Antonio, and Texas State. I'd expect a lot more offers to come his way. You know, the last quarterback they had was arguably the best quarterback in the country last year, Keelan Russell. Him and Bryce Underwood both in the mix, 1A, kind of 1B.
Wyatt's, who's been kicking the ball short, trying to keep the ball away from Feaster, is going to do the same thing again, though this time instead of a fair catch, the Eagles are going to try to return it. Heading to the far side of the field, this is Cortland Jackson, and Jackson is going to finally get tackled across the 25 out near the 27-yard line.
Yeah, DeSoto's got to come up with something on this drive. 28-6, you got to get a little bit of momentum. If you can cut this one back down to a 2-score game, you kind of feel like you're still in it, but they got to at least allow their defense to rest over there because Duncanville 4 for 4, all 4 touchdown drives.
Yeah, and that last possession for DeSoto, they started out their own 29-yard line, and after they punted the ball away, Duncanville had the ball at the DeSoto 26. So you ended up losing 3 yards ultimately on that. As you're on first down, a handoff, Baker running right, and there's not been a lot of room for him so far. Duncanville's been up to the task on the defensive line. That's a gain of a couple to the 29.
Yeah, and that was really Ramel Borner's really his #1 job as a defensive coordinator. You got to stop the run because the run is really what sets up everything for this DeSoto offense. They've done a good job kind of stopping the run and not allowing Feaster to do too much as he catches that pass.
Feaster's going to get around the outside, down the sideline. He's got a lot of foot speed. We don't see any laundry on the field. He's going to get in the end zone, and that should be a DeSoto touchdown. And you can almost hear a sigh of relief coming from the DeSoto side of the field.
Man, that burst because he just caught that and turned on the jets, and nobody came close to catching him. This dude is a bad man, and he's been making plays like this since he was a freshman. And keep in mind, too, this is a 16-year-old senior who's making big-time plays. Nice job just to get on the outside. Oh, it could have been a holding call right there on his receiver blocking, but Feaster, man, he turns on the jets. See you later.
That is a 71-yard touchdown pass. Coach Mathis is got to be a little more pleased, and you're right.
Probably not too thrilled, though. No. Still, you look at the scoreboard. But, yes, he's doing a little better on the sideline now.
Extra point try on the way, and that is good. And so it is a 28-13 score here. And you're right. DeSoto may have gotten away with a little bit of a hold there on the edge, but Coach Mathis got to be happy that they were able to score. They needed some kind of a bounce-back drive.
Yeah, they needed that play for sure. And, you know, you look at Boobie Feaster, his freshman year, 32 grabs, 634 yards, 9 touchdowns. As a sophomore, 57 for 824 and 13 touchdowns. And this year coming into tonight, he had 20 grabs for 422 yards and 5 touchdowns. And that's kind of playing without a clear #1 quarterback. Legend Howell's been a little banged up. So Rod Baker had to come in, play a lot of quarterback too. So he's been dealing with a lot, but he just shows you his game-breaking speed right there.
Yeah, once he got a little sliver along the sideline, he was gone.
Yeah, and you know, his nickname is Booby for the Booby Miles, former character in Friday Night Lights, a former star at Odessa Perriman.
Yeah, people know the TV show, but that's based on a true story from the 1988 Permian team. So,
and they lost to Dallas Skyline in that state title game where Reginald Samples coached. He wasn't the coach then, but he did spend time at Skyline before taking over as the Duncanville head coach. Great movie. That's one of the best sports movies of all time for sure. For me, it's either that or Remember the Titans.
Okay. Yeah.
Probably going Remember the Titans.
Yeah, that was an outstanding film. Anything with Denzel Washington in it.
Yes.
Here's a short kick from the 20-yard line on the return. The Panthers in a little bit of room there for Braden Arnold. He's down the near sideline into DeSoto territory and will finally be run out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Great blocking on special teams for the Panthers, and that's a return of 38 yards.
Yeah, that's just tough if you're DeSoto, man. You get a little momentum back on your side, and boom, Duncanville comes back with this great return. Nice job.
Yeah, Braden Arnold got some nice blocks up the field and then did a good job protecting the football. And once again, you've got a hot quarterback and a short field to work with some receivers who, boy, if they just get a sliver, it's kind of like dealing with a point guard on the fast break. Just get open. That's what Magic Johnson used to tell us. Get open and I will hit you with a pass.
I knew you were going old school there.
I was.
Going with a little magic.
I was. And that's, you know, Howell's doing a great
point
job.
guards nowadays usually shoot now. They don't pass as much as they used to.
And he's going to get the ball away here. It's going to be incomplete as nice pressure up front by DeSoto. That time it was Aiden Marshall getting in there, putting pressure on Denson.
Yeah, nice job. I mean, he timed that up perfect and got pressure on Denson. Denson still got rid of the ball, but just couldn't get enough on it to get it to his dude, Zach Turner.
Yeah, DeSoto's defense is going to need a few more plays like that. Marshall doing a nice job reading that play. Not going for the jet sweep fake and instead stepping in and blowing it up on 2nd and 10. Pressure coming again and a sack for DeSoto. And suddenly the defense showing up for the Eagles. It's like we're tired of this. Ravondrick Williams with a sack.
Yeah, good job too. Quentin Billings coming off the edge. No one blocked him, and nice job getting pressured. Jaden Randall also back there too. You get a look at 25. Quentin Billings, nice job of meeting at the quarterback with Mr. Randall.
I'm sure he is going to want to claim half of that sack.
Yes, I think that'll be a little halfer for both dudes. But this is exactly what DeSoto's defense needs. They got to find a way to get a stop. So you got to come up with a play here. Duncanville's offense very explosive, so they can still come up with a 3rd and 20 here. And a little confusion on DeSoto's sideline. Adrian Redmond trying to come back in the game, and he gets back to the sideline. Looks like DeSoto had to call timeout.
Actually, no, we had a delay of game against Duncanville.
So all that confusion on DeSoto's sideline worked, and it moves Duncanville back 5 yards. They don't have a timeout to call. They already used all 3.
I thought Coach Mathis was going to tackle him as he was coming onto the field. He cut him off at the pass. Yeah. That penalty just the 3rd on the Panthers in this first half. DeSoto's got 5 so far.
And 2 of those penalties were huge. Took touchdowns off the board.
Yeah, certainly the penalties against the Eagles in this game have been more significant than the penalties against Duncanville. But now Denson is looking at a 3rd and long, and
Duncanville did have one timeout left.
I thought they'd used one. No,
I think DeSoto might have called one earlier. There might have been that confusion.
Well, they just called another delay of game against Duncanville.
Oh, so maybe they did use all 3 of their timeouts, because you look at the scoreboard. And now they took it off, but it had 1 for them and then 1 for DeSoto. But I think you're right, though. I thought they used their 3rd timeout earlier this quarter.
They used the first one inside of the first minute of the game, and then so they're just continuing to move backwards rather than being able to call a timeout because they don't have any. They're just taking the delay of game penalties. They're going to reset that play clock again because they forgot to march off the 2nd delay of game. So now the first down marker is at the DeSoto 32-yard line. Duncanville is back at their 38. Man in motion here on 3rd down. Quick pass. This is Theus. Theus with some blockers in front of him, but a nice job chasing down from the backside. That'll be a Nice gain. Theus saying my knee wasn't down, but the officials disagree, and he will be stopped at the 47-yard line. And for the first time in the game, Duncanville is going to send out the punt team.
Yeah, DeSoto's defense needed that. Nice job by the Mike linebacker, Jace Hill Douglas, the team's leading tackler, to bring him down. And yeah, I don't think Ayson Theus has won in that argument. Looked like his knee was down.
So punting team is out for Duncanville. Trenton Yancey does most of the punting for the squad, and he's standing at his own 31-yard line. The punt away. He's going to kick it away from any DeSoto return man. That is going to take a Duncanville bounce, and a nice one. It's going to go inside the 15 down to the 11-yard line. Well, it's a great way to flip the field if you're Duncanville and you have to punt for the first time in the game with exactly 2 minutes to go. DeSoto's got one timeout they can use, but they are a quick strike offense. They're going to be starting at their own 11.
Yeah, this is a huge drive for DeSoto, because if they can march down and score a touchdown on this drive right before halftime, they're going to have all the momentum going into the break if they can cut this one down to a one score. Because when Duncanville took that 28-6 lead, it was looking kind of tough for the Eagles, but luckily for them, they got this dude named Booby Feaster.
And if you can find Feaster in the open field again, he's liable to take off. And the other component to this, too, is DeSoto started out with a football at the beginning of the game. Yeah. So Duncanville will get it back. So if you can cut this to a one-score advantage going into the second half, I think that's a huge win for the Eagles in this last 6 minutes of play here in the first half.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity for both teams, because if Duncanville's defense can step up, make a stop here, and even have a chance to get more points here at the end of the first half.
Well, folks, stay tuned at halftime. Zach and I will take a short break, come back with the MaxPreps Game of the Week halftime show. We hope that you're enjoying this broadcast.
You don't want to miss the top 10 plays, man. There were some good ones last week, especially, I don't want to give anything away, but the game we were at last week, Macaulay-Baylor, might be the #1 play with David Gabriel George.
We'll see what Steve Montoya has cooked up for us at halftime. You're on the MaxPreps Game of the Week, as on first down, Baker's going to break a couple of tackles and then get out near the 20-yard line. That's a hard-earned 9 yards. And DeSoto's going to have to hurry a little bit. They're trying to conserve that timeout.
Yeah, great run by Baker, man. He was hit right at the line of scrimmage. There's Landon Barnes once again in the backfield, but Baker does a good job to pick up almost a first down, 2nd and 1.
Trying to pick up the first down. Baker will do that, plus a little bit more. He's out close to the 30-yard line. Finally stopped at the 28. That's the 5th first down of the first half for the Eagles.
And see if DeSoto here, running it a couple of times, will maybe open up a chance to get the ball to Feaster.
They're going to keep it on the ground. Baker starts inside, bounces outside. He's got a first down and more, and he's going to run out of bounds at the 47-yard line.
Yeah, that's perfect, man. 3 straight runs for Baker. Nice job, too, to get out of bounds, stop the clock with $1:15 left here in the second quarter.
They'll spot him at the 46. Baker's been a little bit quiet. He's been bottled up most of the first half by Duncanville's defense, but 3 nice runs in a row, and he's going to get a little bit of a break.
And Jaqueline Silas, too. He's a game breaker. He's got a ton of speed, the backup running back, 5'8", $170, senior.
He's in the backfield to the right of Howell. He's going to get a carry. He finds a little bit of a hole and then will be ankle tackled shy of midfield. A gain of 2 on the play. Ball at the 48-yard line, 2nd and 8 as we tick under a minute remaining in the first half. Howell's going to throw this time. He's going to hit a receiver far side and then stepping out of bounds. Nicely done. That's Jackson with the catch. And that will stop the clock with about 50 seconds to play.
Yeah, Cortland Jackson has had a pretty solid first half in making plays alongside Feaster.
3rd and 5.
Yeah, this has got #1 written all over it, though. They got to find a way to get Feaster the ball. You saw his speed on his 71-yard touchdown the previous drive.
Feaster's in the slot. Instead, a handoff and no gain on the play. That'll set up 4th down.
Man, Landon Barnes having a huge first half for Duncanville. He's making plays all night.
Well, and Feaster, Braylon Edwards is giving Feaster a cushion. I mean, you can almost just take 2 steps forward, turn around, get in the ball, and let him see what he can do. And now DeSoto is going to use that final timeout. That'll stop the clock with exactly 28 seconds to go here in the half. And the ball is going to be spotted at midfield.
Yeah, that's a tough decision to make if you're Claude Mathis too. Obviously, you want to take the time out if you convert the first down to have a chance to score more points. But if you don't get this fourth down, now you give Duncanville, enough time to maybe at least walk out with a field goal here right before halftime.
You know Wyatt's is itching to do it. He has not had a field goal attempt this year.
Yeah.
We saw him connect on an extra point drive from 36 yards, so probably you'd need to get down to about the 20-yard line.
But I think, too, if you're Mathis here, points are crucial on this drive. Kind of get a little bit of more momentum heading into half. And it makes your decision a little easier, too, when you got a guy like Booby Feaster. You can use him as a decoy as well, or try and get him the ball here if he's one-on-one coverage.
How do you think Reginald Samples feels about how the first half has gone for Duncanville?
I think he feels good if they get a stop right here. You take a 2-score lead going into half. You got to feel good as a head coach.
Howell takes the snap on fourth down. He's going to throw. That pass is caught. It'll be a first down, and stepping out of bounds at the 39-yard line goes, not Jackson that time. It was LaDainian Wall with the reception.
Yeah, that was, easy throw, easy catch.
Took 6 seconds off the clock.
6 foot, 175-pound senior wide receiver. First catch of the night.
Howell's going to look to the left-hand side, and that pass is going to be incomplete. He's trying to get it to Feaster, and probably that's the best outcome. If he hangs on to that ball there, his knees down, he gets 5 yards. The clock continues to roll.
Yeah, that worked out perfect. He didn't catch that one, because if he makes that catch, they probably got one more play here this half.
At some point, you got to take a shot at the end zone.
Yeah.
Let your receivers, your top playmakers, go out and make a play. Maybe not on this one. You could do something toward the sideline, shorten that field just a little bit. Howell drops back to throw, looking across the middle. Well, he's going to take a shot down the middle of the field. Is that a one-handed catch? Wow, what a grab.
Wow.
Baker pulls it inside the 10-yard line.
Not bad for a running back. One-handed catch. Sarad Baker, are you kidding me?
Well, we may have a nominee for Play of the Week next week.
Wow, unbelievable. He had his other arm being held by the DB, and he makes a one-handed sensational catch. Yeah, it's going to be hard to top that for #1 play next week.
That is a phenomenal catch. And a great throw by Howell down the middle of the field, and it's 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
This is a great throw, too. That's good coverage on the play. Baker's kind of the one with the contact as well, too. But, man, what a catch with his left hand.
As he's getting absolutely drilled on the play as well. Was that Edwards who flew in there and took the shot on his back? That was a great concentration. The plays kids can make these days.
Jeez, that was a nuts catch. Jalen Manning, too, was on the coverage there, the middle linebacker for Duncanville. And Jeff, Baker came into this game with only 3 catches for 14 yards. What a great job with his left hand. But last year they did use him a lot as a receiver. He had 43 catches for 477 yards. He's been playing a little bit of quarterback this year. So,
he's 19 of 26 as a quarterback coming in for 489 yards and 4 touchdowns. He'd run for 742 yards and 9 scores coming into tonight. Now he's got an incredible catch. 1st and goal, 14 seconds to play. Ball into the corner. DeSoto says they've got a touchdown. Our officials agree.
Wow.
Feaster, his 2nd touchdown reception of the game. Penalty markers fly in late, but he is celebrating that catch. So are his teammates. They'll get a 15-yard penalty, but that is just a fantastic drive by DeSoto.
I thought for a second Braden Arnold was going to have a chance to make a play on the ball there, but a nice throw from Howell. And Feaster, man, he was our key player to watch coming into this one for a reason. One of the best wide receivers in the entire country. Yeah, what a throw. Yeah, over the outstretched arms of Braden Arnold, and Feaster, man, corner of the end zone, gets his feet down and put a little Gronk spike into that one.
His 2nd touchdown catch in as many drives.
Man, what a baller.
That is an 89-yard drive by DeSoto. They started to throw an 11-yard line with 2 minutes to go. There's still 8 seconds left on the clock, and they are going to go into the half in a 1-possession game.
And this just shows you the confidence that Claude Mathis has in his bunch. He knew that LaDainian Wall was going to have a chance in that 4th down, 4th and 6. He has 3 catches on the entire season, and he goes to him on the 4th down conversion as he gets the personal foul on Feaster after the touchdown.
Yeah, that unsportsmanlike conduct is going to be marched off likely on the kickoff.
But
Actually, no, they're going to do it on the extra point try. So this is maybe not a one-score game just yet. They got to hit this extra point, and now they're looking at one from about 33 yards.
But man, Sherrod Baker, that was. I mean, is that the best catch we've seen all year?
I feel like we've had another one-handed catch somewhere.
Yeah, I know Chris Henry made a couple of nice ones in the modern day game along with Mark Bowman, but that one,
that's up there.
That might take the cake for me, man.
This is actually going to be a 35-yard extra point try.
And this is big, man, because this makes it a one-score game if he can connect on this one.
Jacob Flores trying to get this to an 8-point game. It is a low kick, but it's got the distance, and he nails it.
Man, our kickers, man, they're making some long PATs here tonight, man. But, hey, this is a great throw by Legend Howell. This is just perfect right over the DB's hands, right in the hands of Feaster, man.
That's two great passes by Howell in a row in a spot where only his receiver is going to get a chance to make a play, and then his receivers do it. Baker and then Feaster, back-to-back, incredible catches, a touchdown for DeSoto. It's a 28-20 game. I mean, the Eagles looked a little bit dead in the water. They'd already had 2 touchdowns called back because of penalties, but they were able to stay penalty-free on those 2 drives, and they get in the end zone on back-to-back possessions.
Yeah, I mean, their offense has had a lot of success. You know, the 2 touchdowns they had earlier, too, got taken away because of penalties. So when they haven't beat themselves, they've done a good job putting points on the board. But Ethan Feaster, man, he's a problem. Him and Sherrod Baker. I mean, this is one of the best 1-2 punches when it comes to playmakers in the entire state of Texas.
So now Flores to kick off. Duncanville will get the ball to begin the second half of play, but they're thinking maybe there's going to be another trick up DeSoto's sleeve here. But Flores is going to kick this ball deep. From the 14-yard line, here comes Duncanville on the return. And they're going to run right into a wall of special teams players with about a second left on the clock, as that was Trenton Yancey who's going to take it out to the 23-yard line. And I've got to think here Duncanville's just going to take a knee.
I would think so, man, because the coach's box is right next to us to the right. And all the coaches already took the headsets off and headed down to the field. So I don't think we're going to get anything crazy going on here, man. But what a turnaround here for DeSoto, man. Down 28-6. And just like that, it's 28-20 heading into halftime.
A 48-point first half. One of our highest scoring first half.
I told y'all there's going to be a lot of points in this one, man. And there has been.
As Denson takes a knee, we go to the break. 28-20 our score. Duncanville with the lead, but DeSoto with the last 2 scores before the end of the first half. Got to be a pretty happy group of Eagles considering how things looked at about the 6-minute mark of the second quarter when they were down 28-6, but now at 28-20. And Chris Stonebreaker down on the field talking to one of our coaches. Chris?
Hey, here with Coach Samples. Coach, what did you like most from your team in the first half?
We played well the first quarter, but we've got to regroup for the second half. They made some big plays. We just got to keep playing. They got a good team.
How are you going to maintain this lead?
We're going to just keep playing and try to keep scoring.
Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Chris. Coach Samples, well, we got to keep scoring. They did it 4 of their first 4 possessions. They were 4 for 4, but DeSoto does a nice job coming back.
I mean, it's always funny to me when you got to interview a coach right before halftime. He is steaming because they're up 28-6. You're feeling good, and then you look up the scoreboard. It's 28-20. Nice job by DeSoto to get back in this one. We'll have more here at halftime here for your MaxPreps Game of the Week.
The MaxPreps Game of the Week is brought to you by GoFan, the leading ticketing solution for high schools. Skip the line and get your tickets instantly on the GoFan app. And by the NFHS Network. Watch your favorite teams live and on demand with the largest broadcast network for high school sports.
Toss comes in!
He gone, folks. Look at him go. We're going to have to watch the clock.
Our #1 priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools that protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football.
Alrighty, here we go. Your top 10 plays as seen on the NFHS network. Let's turn up the volume.
Kind of stalled that drive.
Fortier is in a quarterback this time. He's going to throw a deep ball down the middle of the field. He's got a man open. That pass is caught, and this is going to be an 89-yard touchdown play.
Keyshawn Tabito, 89-yard house call. Jeff, he was our key player for McCauley because of that game-breaking speed that he showed there.
Just a bomb down the middle of the field. That was actually the sophomore quarterback, Fortier.
What a throw, what a catch. Corey Sims right here, Clearwater Central Catholic. Watch him dodge that guy after the one-handed catch, dodge that guy. And of course, he's going to find his way into the end zone. How about this, ladies and gentlemen? Let's go to Montana, North Star, Montana. Look at the bus in the background, the wide open field, cars parked right there. This is six-man football. This is Caden Woolery. Caden Woolery, what a run. His teammates are pumped for him. Guess what? You got the NFHS cameras. You can put them anywhere. We'll find it. We'll put it on the top 10 plays. That's North Star, Montana. How about Dearborn, Michigan? Scott Zalowski. Zalowski is going to house call this one right here. Look at all that speed. The camera needs to catch up. Go to the wide view so we can see him get into the end zone. He does right there. We've seen North Shore before on our top 10 plays. Caleb Maryland, watch this throw. Aubrey Johnson goes up, makes the catch. What? Wait, is it a catch? They're wrestling for it on the ground. Yeah, that's a touchdown. That's going to end up in our top plays of the week. Oaks Christian, Devon Benjamin. This is nearly 109 yards. He's going to take it back for a pick 6. 109 yards goes Devon Benjamin from Oaks Christian High School. Volume up, please.
Galvan with the throw. Hucking it deep. Kenny Moore got it. What a catch! Diving out for the ball. Wow, that'll break the record, and it'll be a touchdown for St. Mary's.
St. Mary's out in Stockton, California. This is Mater Dei High School. That's Caden Dixon Wyatt. That's Ryan Hopkins with the dime of the throw. Let's see it again. Dixon Wyatt, watch him go up and snag that ball. What a catch. How about this one? Nathan Finn's going to intercept this ball. He's going to fumble it. Devorian Bradford will pick it up. Now the score, look at the score, 59-59. It's triple overtime. This would be a walk-off pick 6 to win one of the wildest games of the year in the state of Texas. Jump up and down. You deserve it. That's a walk-off pick 6. Speaking of walk-off, let's get to our #1 play. This is incredible. Right here. Turn it up.
Handoff, Gabriel George across the line of scrimmage, keeps the feet moving, still going, breaks a tackle all the way down the sideline, one man to beat, cuts back, and he's got a touchdown.
Wow. I mean, I think we know what play #1 is going to be next week on the MaxPreps top 10 plays of the week.
Thank you to Steve Montoya and Zach. A little campaigning.
Do we have like a little influence? Because I mean, when we say a play should be 1 or in the top 10, it usually finds its way. Because I think we already are campaigning for Sarad Baker next week.
It shows how much cachet we actually have. That's how we determine that every week. And speaking of cachet, look at this top 25: St. John Bosco, St. Francis Academy, staying up there 1-2.
And it works out perfect too tonight. After this game, you can go to NFHS Network, get a subscription if you don't have one already. You can check out #6 Mater Dei versus #16 Santa Margarita. That should be a good one. The only MaxPreps top 25 matchup of the week.
And then our one Texas team in here, South Lake Carroll at number 13. We've got two really good teams out on the field here.
They look good. They look good last night, man. They put up 60 plus again. Riley Dodge with his 100th career win. Shout out to my guy Thomas Frey too, sending over some scores. DeMatha won 7-0 against Good Counsel. Carrollton up big, 56-0. Clay Chalkville up 49-6 at half. St. Francis won 60-0. So not a tough one for the number 2 team in the country. And Cavs Tech 67-0, and Grizzly number 15, 43-8.
We've moved into league play.
Yeah. Yes.
That's where you start seeing some of those scores. Some of those scores you end up in league play. As the DeSoto band performing out on the field here at Duncanville High School. We'll be back more with halftime in just a few moments.
Game day's here. You try to make it every week, but sometimes life gets in the way. With the NFHS Network, you can be there, catching those important moments live while on the go. And even if you're at the game, you're stuck behind your phone, trying to record that one great moment you'll remember forever. With the NFHS Network, live and on-demand games with highlights and game recaps will be ready for you to rewatch and share with friends and family. 30 sports across 50 states, 500,000 games. One way to get closer to the athlete who matters most, yours. NFHS Network. Be in the stands wherever you are.
Our number one priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools that protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football.
Back in the broadcast booth here at Duncanville High School, Jeff Kurtz alongside Zach Poff as halftime continues here in Duncanville. And an interesting first half. Zach, we had so many games in the early part of the year where our first half highlights would be, well, let's show you this field goal.
Yeah.
But we've gotten to a point in the season now where teams are putting a lot of points up on the board. We've got 48 here in the first half.
Yeah, this one's had plenty of plays, man. And, you know, it started with Duncanville. I've been so impressed with Maximus The Great Denson. He's done a great job of spreading the ball out. Ellison with that first touchdown. Rod Baker having an outstanding night, too. That was what got DeSoto on the board with that long touchdown run.
Yeah, and Baker got bottled up a little bit, but he certainly found a lot more room in the second quarter as well, as you've got one of the 2 touchdowns for Ayson Theus on that play. Duncanville scoring the first 4 times they touched the football.
Yeah, and, you know, like we were touching on, man, they have so many playmakers there. Trenton Yancey, he's got 38 offers, 4-star in the class of 2027. That's Ayson Theus. He's telling you, man, I got 2 tonight. Booby Feaster, he turned on the Jets there. Future USC Trojan. That's the play of the night. Probably the play of the night in the entire country. Rod Baker with a great one-handed catch. And then look at this throw from Legend Howe.
And Feaster with his second touchdown catch of the game. And that made it a 1-score game. This was a 28-6 ball game with about 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. And then suddenly DeSoto found their footing offensively, and they stopped getting penalties when they were scoring touchdowns. They had 2 touchdown plays, long ones, called back because of penalties in the first half, but they were able to stay away from that problem in the last 2 possessions that they had. Yeah, that was a huge answer for DeSoto, because this game was getting away for them, and it was 28-6. Things aren't looking great. They needed to have a drive, and they had it. And what they do, they get the ball to their best playmaker in Booby Feaster, and then Rod Baker made a great one-handed catch, and then Feaster gets his second touchdown of the night. And credit Denson as well. He's had 4 touchdown passes to 3 different receivers. Yeah. He's found Theus twice, but he's also gotten them to Yancey and to Ellison as well. Can they find that offensive mojo in the second half? Yeah, and Denson too. This was a tough job for him this year. You got to fill the shoes of Keelan Russell, who is right up there with Jaquinton Jackson as the best quarterback to come through this program. He's now at Alabama.
He put up big-time numbers last year, throwing for 55 touchdowns, and Denson's having a great junior year so far for Duncanville.
Well, his middle name is The Great, and he's had 4 touchdown passes in the first half. Yep. He's got to maintain that greatness in the last 24 minutes. We got more halftime coming your way here from Duncanville High School. Jeff Kurt, Zach Poff with you on the MaxPreps Game of the Week as the DeSoto Band continues to perform. Back with more in a moment.
The MaxPreps Game of the Week is brought to you by GoFan, the leading ticketing solution for high schools. Skip the line and get your tickets instantly on the GoFan app. And by the NFHS Network. Watch your favorite teams live and on demand with the largest broadcast network for high school sports. Here. You try to make it every week, but sometimes life gets in the way. With the NFHS Network, you can be there, catching those important moments live while on the go. And even if you're at the game, you're stuck behind your phone trying to record that one great moment you'll remember forever. With the NFHS Network, live and on-demand games with highlights and game recaps will be ready for you to rewatch and share with friends and family. 30 sports across 50 states, 500,000 games. One way to get closer to the athlete who matters most, yours. NFHS Network. Be in the stands wherever you are.
They score! Cross comes in!
He gone, folks. Look at him go. We're going to have to watch the clock.
Halftime continues here at Duncanville High School. As you can see the crowd, the DeSoto Band filing off the field, the Duncanville Band about to come on the field. And we'll take this moment while they're getting set up. We're going to bring you a little band action here, folks, but let's talk about some of the notable alumni from both of these schools, first starting with DeSoto.
Man, that's a great list. You know, Tatum Bell, good running back in the NFL. Von Miller, obviously the best on the list, a Super Bowl MVP, drafted number 2 overall by the Denver Broncos. Desmond White, he's my sleeper on here. This was a guy, he was a great quarterback. He played wide receiver at TCU. So Kyler Murray's junior season, when he's during that stretch where he never lost a game, Desmond White had a great game as a senior, nearly led DeSoto to a win over Allen. Allen came back and won, eventually won a state title. That was their second of 3 straight. Sean Robinson led DeSoto to their first state title in 2016. Laviska Chenault, second-round pick in the NFL. Byron Murphy, a first-round pick. And Trey Weisner having a great year at Texas. And Jonte Cook, man, he was probably the best wide receiver to come through DeSoto. Now we'll see if Boobie Feaster kind of surpasses him.
And then for Duncanville, we start out with basketball for our first 2, Greg Ostertag and Tamika Catchings.
I don't know if there was a guy that annoyed me more watching the NBA in the late 90s than Greg Ostertag, but he had a very good career playing for Jerry Sloan in Utah. Tamika Catchings, one of the best to ever play in the WNBA, had a great college career as well. Jonathan Majors, great actor, played high school sports at Duncanville, but for me, it's Decorian Moore. I think he's the best player on this list. He's having a great freshman year for Oregon. He was a matchup nightmare for anyone trying to guard him, and he balled out against DeSoto every time he played against him.
Well, there's our notable alumni again from DeSoto and Duncanville, and
who's got the better list?
It's always great to see. You know, I'm leaning DeSoto a little bit.
Okay,
I'm leaning a little bit, but I like the Tamika Catchings fusion on the Duncanville side, as you've got the Duncanville band is set to perform out there on the field. Some of the younger cheerleaders kind of warming things up for the crowd.
They finally got a chance to get out there, man. They tried to come out for that extra point. The refs weren't having it, never really had their time to shine. So now you get a chance at it, man. But there's got to be, what, around 100 people on the field right now, and this marching band and the dancing, whatever you call those.
Yeah, the dance crew as well.
Okay,
yeah. Dance team, I guess. Well, you know, why don't we stay out for just a little bit and let you enjoy.
Just real quick, just to show you how many. Well, the camera shot went away there. If we can get that one back with the crowd, you see that back right corner. That's how many people are in the band, man, because it's all empty right there.
That's the DeSoto band only. Yes, that section right there.
So that just shows you. All right, I'm done talking.
All right, very good. Let's let the fans listen to the Duncanville marching band down on the field as halftime continues here from Duncanville High School.
They are your three-time UIL State Marching Band champions. They hold the Texas 6A record with the most appearances at the UIL State Marching Band Championships. Please welcome to the field the 2025 Duncanville High School Marching Band. The DHS Marching Band is led on the field today by drum majors J.D. Lee, Aiden Cobbin, and Gabriel Torres. The Duncanville High School Band is led by directors Paula Tagalas, Lion Brown, Gilberto Diaz, Dylan Ryan, and Director of Marching Band Savannah Hutchinson. The Duncanville Color Guard is directed by Jake Mooney. Tonight, the Duncanville Band will perform parts 1 through 4A of their 2025 show titled The Wilder West.
Yeah, I forgot about this one. I'm used to the Black Magic monitors. I haven't played with these much. Let's see if we can figure it out, though.
Look at this menu. I didn't see anything that was pertaining to this, you know. Look for like every single one. I couldn't figure.
Yeah, let's give it another shot.
You've done it.
I don't know if I even have, but I'll check it. Worth checking out again.
Like a menu within the menu and then, yeah.
Well, we could try the old system reset. Maybe that'll just get rid of it.
Probably, because you gotta put that on.
Right, you probably would have to. Yeah. Right, hopefully that's not the default setting.
I know.
I'm sure we can find it either way, but. All right, come back now, sometime today. What the hell?
I think I prefer the green lines now.
Game day's here. You try to make it every week, but sometimes life gets in the way. With the NFHS Network, you can be there, catching those important moments live while on the go. And even if you're at the game, you're stuck behind your phone trying to record that one great moment you'll remember forever. With the NFHS Network, live and on-demand games with highlights and game recaps will be ready for you to rewatch and share with friends and family. 30 sports across 50 states, 500,000 games. One way to get closer to the athlete who matters most, yours. NFHS Network. Be in the stands wherever you are. High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
They score! Cross comes in!
He gone, folks. Look at him go. We're going to have to watch the clock.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
like to thank and recognize the support we receive.
Back here at halftime at Duncanville High School, as you see the Duncanville marching band filing off the field after performing. Folks, if you are watching the game tonight on MaxPreps or on MaxPreps YouTube channel or on the NFHS Network, we welcome you. And if you're on the NFHS Network and you're watching this game for free, you might want to consider getting an annual or a monthly pass to the NFHS Network. We got a lot of great coverage coming your way, and your pass gives you access to any game taking place on the network over the next 30 days in the monthly option or for the next 365 in the annual option. And that includes not only great football, but we cover the Texas State Marching Band Championships November 3rd through the 5th, and then the following weekend as well. No truth to the rumor that Zach Poff is giving up the football beat to take on marching band and give you a top 25 for us.
I did a little research while they were playing.
Okay.
And you're looking at the 3-time UIL Texas State champs, 1986, a year before I was born, 1990, and most recently 2002.
See, I'm telling you, folks, he's already all over it. We expect the top 25 marching bands across the country on Monday, in addition to the football one, and I'm sure Steve Montoya,
I would say
editorial, is going to have you hooked up with something.
I would say that band probably had a few 5-stars out there.
They did. They probably did. Yeah. They probably did.
And Jeff, since 1988, they've advanced in the UIL state playoffs. If they call it playoffs, I'm not really. I got to get a little more.
That's all right. We'll give you some time. You're just getting on the beat.
Yes, but they've advanced every year since 1988, which is super impressive.
Let's look at some of the other games taking place on the NFHS Network next week, as well as preview our MaxPreps Game of the Week next week as we go from Texas to Portland, Oregon, as West Linn and Lake Oswego, who were in the state championship game in 6A last year and are right now running 1 and 2 in the state of Oregon. West Linn number 1, Lake Oswego number 2. They will meet next week, and we will have that game for you under misty skies in the Pacific Northwest.
That's going to be a fun one, man. Those are the two best teams in the state. They played twice last year. Lake Oswego got the regular season one, but West Linn came back in the 6A state championship to hold up the trophy. There's a lot of sauce next week, man. St. John Bosco, Santa Margarita, another huge Trinity League matchup. Lake Travis, Dripping Springs, big one in Texas. Both those teams undefeated. Anytime Thompson and Hoover play, big-time matchup in the state of Alabama. And McEacher and Hillgrove, 2 undefeated teams as well in Georgia. So kind of spread out all over the country, man. Going to be some fun games next week.
Folks, you can listen to us for free, but we invite you to take on everything else and get yourself an NFHS Network pass, because you are not going to want to miss any of the action next week or in subsequent weeks as we move into playoffs in a variety of sports. We've got girls volleyball coverage coming your way across the country, obviously football. We mentioned marching band.
Starting as well.
Basketball will be starting up in November. We'll have postseason water polo. We aren't putting Zach on the water polo beat just yet, though I was looking forward to your analysis of the top 25 3-meter players in the entire country, but we'll leave that to
we'll leave that to the actual water polo experts. I'm not one of those. I do surf. Maybe we can get some surfing rankings though. Maybe.
All right, Florida, California.
Hey BJ, maybe I might have to move to Hawaii for 6 months or so. So
there you go.
If we can get that in the budget.
We campaign for a lot of things from the booth. It's tough when you give us a couple of headsets and an open forum, right?
Yes.
But as Duncanville and DeSoto take the field in this a 28-20 game, with Duncanville leading by 8 at the half, they dominated through about the first, let's call it 18 minutes, but DeSoto getting some points on the board late like we talked about. Let's go back to our keys to the game. We started out with, can you be legendary? Legend Howell, well, he's certainly been up to the task with a couple of touchdown throws in his last 2 possessions.
Yeah, both quarterbacks have played great. Shout out to our guy Aaron Williams, man. He sent me some stats at halftime. He's doing it right now, and Legend Howell, 9 out of 15 for 175 yards, 2 touchdowns. And you look at Maximus the Great Denson, 13 of 16, $180, 4 touchdowns. You're usually doing pretty good at quarterback if you have more touchdowns than incompletions.
And DeSoto really had some trouble controlling the flow in the first half when they had those 2 touchdowns called back because of penalties, but their last 2 they adjusted. And now can you hold at home Duncanville? You looked pretty good through the first, like we said, 18 minutes of play. But now can you turn it on for the last 24? Duncanville will get the football to begin the second half. DeSoto kicking off, going right to left across your screen. They had the ball to begin the game, and Duncanville is going to get pretty good field position here, grabbing this at the 22-yard line, heading to the near side, getting a block, cutting upfield across the 40, and then run out of bounds on the DeSoto side of the field is Trenton Yancey, and this will be the 3rd time Duncanville in the game starting on the DeSoto side of the field.
Yeah, I was kind of looking back to see if maybe there was a flag. Anytime you go from that side of the field to the near side, there's a chance of that, but nice return from Yancey. And looking over a few other stats from the first half, Booby Feaster 5 catches, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Duncanville, you know, Denson did a good job of spreading it out. Yancey, 4 for 51, a touchdown. Theus, 4 catches, 65 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Ellison, who caught the first touchdown, had 3 grabs for 46 yards.
That was a 33-yard return by Yancey. And the ball at the 45-yard line. And on first down, here's a carry. Singleton, who had some big carries in the first quarter, and then we didn't see a lot of them in the second quarter. He'll take it down to about the 42-yard line for a gain of 3 on first down.
Yeah, Singleton, 8 carries, 64 yards, but he had, you know, a big chunk of that on that first drive, like you mentioned, with those 2 long runs on that first drive for the Panthers.
Second down and 7. And it's going to be a split backfield back there with Denson, as he's got a running back to his right and left. Now Theus going to motion out of the backfield. Denson looking to throw. He's going to throw a ball underneath, and it's almost intercepted. That was Aiden Marshall, who had the ball go right through his hands, and that'll make it 3rd down and 7. Boy, that's the first pass we've seen Denson throw where he didn't really see the defender.
Yeah, Marshall just did a good job. He kind of faked like he was going up towards the line of scrimmage and backed up kind of zone coverage for DeSoto and nearly came away with the INT. That would have been a huge takeaway for the Eagles defense.
You know, it was something I saw in the NFL the other day. Is one of the commentators, I forget who it was describing that a lot of NFL defenses have gone to that, where you've got linebackers who look like they're going to rush and then they'll back up, and that's something that has been developed in the NFL over the last few years. Now it's filtering down to the high school level. Denson looking to throw, penalty marker down, and actually we're going to stop things as the tackle's going to be made by our official on Theus. The first time Theus has been stopped after he's caught the football in the game, but we've got a offside call that's going to go against DeSoto.
Yeah, Eagles defense a little too eager on that one. It's hard to tell who it was. It might have been Marshall coming off the edge a little too quick. Yeah, it was Marshall.
Yeah, he was way in the backfield. He was pretty much in the huddle.
Yeah, he was hitting, you know, Zach Turner when he's in motion. He said, hey, we haven't even started the play yet, bud.
Well, I'm here. So that's a gain of 5, 3rd down and 3. 6 penalties in the first half for DeSoto for 55 yards. Duncanville 4 for 30. As here's a running play. The Panthers need to get to the 35-yard line, and it looks like they're right on the nose.
Yeah, he got it. Refs saying, hey, guys, let's move these chains.
And that first down for Duncanville, they had 8 in the first half. That's number 1 here in the second half. DeSoto was 7 first downs of their own.
So kind of a big sequence there, you know, near interception for DeSoto, Aiden Marshall, and then the next play was 3rd and 7, and then you jump off sides and you give DeSoto a 3rd and manageable and then move the chains there.
Denson going to throw far side. That ball is going to be short hopped, incomplete. Intended for Yancey. You know, of the 7 penalties DeSoto has had so far in the game, Zach, you know, penalties are always significant. They're always impactful. But 3 now in particular have been huge. The 2 brought touchdowns back. And now you've got that one that takes you from 3rd and 8 to 3rd and 3. And then Duncanville's able to get a first down, keep the drive going when they're already on your side of the field.
Yeah, it's been... You know, we were talking about that earlier, too, where basically one of the keys to the game for DeSoto is you got to keep your cool. No dumb penalties, even though they weren't personal foul penalties, but they were penalties that really came back to hurt the Eagles. And, you know, luckily for them, they were able to come back and cut that 28-6 deficit to 28-20 at half, but still.
Ooh, Denson on the slant route underneath to Theus, and Theus unable to hang on to that football, and that'll make it 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and that was a fastball trying to get to Theus. He had to throw it hard because it was in between coverage, and just Theus couldn't come down with it. And that's a catch Theus will tell you he should make. He's one of the best wide receivers in the Lone Star State.
Well, you can tell by his reaction. And in fact, any good receiver will tell you, if I can get my hands, it used to be hands. Now, if you can just get my hand on the ball, I should catch it.
That's what my grandpa used to always tell me, man. You get your hands on it, it's your ball.
Denson's going to throw. He's got a man open. That pass is complete. That is a first down for Duncanville down to the 19-yard line. Yancey with a catch. Finally brought down by Demarion Ross. And move the sticks once again for the Panthers.
Yeah, just a heads-up route by Yancey. Knew where the first down was. Sat there. Easy throw for Denson.
And now Singleton on a quick carry as right up to the line of scrimmage goes Duncanville. And Singleton will take it down to the 17-yard line for a gain of 2.
So 2 big 3rd down conversions for Duncanville here. This one 3rd and 10, and nice job by Denson. He knows exactly where Yancey's at, sits down, picks up the first down for the Panthers.
Yeah, and the yards after the catch in this game for Duncanville have been pretty good. I mean, even there, you're able to squeeze out about 5 more yards, Yancey, after catching the football. Duncanville in the red zone. 2nd down and 8. Empty backfield for Denson. He's looking right. He's throwing that way. He's got a man in the end zone, and that is a catch by Zach Turner. Touchdown, Panthers.
And it's sure nice to have him back in the offense. He is so many playmakers on this team, but he's kind of been the most dependable the last few years. Had 933 yards receiving as a junior. 2nd touchdown catch for the 6'3", 215-pound SMU commit.
That is the 5th touchdown pass of the game for Denson. He's thrown to 4 different receivers. That one from 18 yards out. And Duncanville takes the opening kickoff and drives 45 yards for a score to put themselves back up by, at the moment, 14 points. And here is Wyatt's, our favorite kicker in Texas, and he's putting it between the uprights to make it 35-20.
That was a big drive for Duncanville to come out second half, kind of set the tone, had those big 3rd down conversions.
Well, Chris Stonebreaker talked to Coach Samples going in, and Coach said, look, we played mostly a good first half, but we need to regroup, and they got it together at the break.
I think he said, too, they got to score some more points, and they're off to a good start there on that first drive of the 3rd quarter. But, you know, it all started with Denson with those 2 3rd down conversions. The first one, a running variety for the running back, but then he made a nice throw on 3rd and 10 and then threw a great ball to Turner for the touchdown. There's a look at Reginald Samples, man. He's
got his game face on.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
Focused.
I mean, you just look at what he's done here. It's his 11th season at Duncanville, over 350 wins as a head coach. That's tough to do. And as you brought up earlier, Jeff, he won 122 games at Lincoln and has done a great job at Duncanville as well with 121 wins.
Now, wins tonight, he ties his achievement at Lincoln High School in 36 years of coaching. He must have started when he was 12. He still looks pretty young.
He's a legend for sure. He's one of the best, not just in this state, but all of America.
Short kick, trying to keep it away from trouble. That's a live football, though. Grabbed at the 12-yard line very casually. Now heading to the near side of the field. Here comes DeSoto. That's Sarad Baker. Baker's always dangerous in the open field, and he's going to get out to the 22-yard line. 21-yard line, it looks like. That's a net return of 9 yards. He probably ran about 60.
Yeah, he had to go a long way there. He was kind of waiting to see if maybe that ball was going to go out of bounds, a heads-up play. He knew there was a chance that stays in, and then Duncanville was going to have a chance at it, and did a good job to at least get it back to, about the 25. So, but yeah, getting back to Duncanville and the success they've had with Reginald Samples, he has led Duncanville to a top 25 finish 7 straight years. That's currently the 4th longest active streak in all of America. St. John Bosco's done it 11 times. So it was offsides on the kickoff. So
we might be doing this again.
I think DeSoto's electing.
Oh, they just take the.
I thought they would. You know, you get a chance with Feaster and Baker back there to have them kick it off again, but they elect to start this drive at the 32. But yeah, I mean, that just shows you how consistent Samples has had the Duncanville program among the top in the nation. Their highest ranking came back in 2018 with Jaquindon Jackson. They went 14-1, lost in the state title game on that Hail Mary, but they finished ranked number 4.
Legend Hal back out on the field. He's going to hand off to Baker on first down. Always a good idea. Baker's going to take it out to the 41-yard line for a gain of 9 yards.
And the 3 teams ahead of Duncanville for the longest active streak in the top 25. Bosco, 11 straight years. IMG, 10 straight. In modern day, 8 straight years.
Here is Baker again on 2nd and 1. He needs to get to the 42-yard line, and it looks like he's going to get to the 43. He'll pick up that first down.
And good job by Baker. There wasn't really a lot of room there, but patient, followed his block, and able to kind of push the pile forward for the first down.
Did Aaron Williams give you stats on Baker at halftime, too? What else did he send your way?
Let's see. Let's get the phone out of the pocket and see what we got here.
As on first down, Baker's going to get the carry again. And he'll take it to the 45-yard line, and they'll keep the feet moving, but they already blew the play dead at the 45. It looks like a gain of 2.
So that one put him over 100. He had 88 yards at half. Also had that big reception as well. He's so versatile, man. He can make plays. I mean, he's physical there, too.
Well, when he's played quarterback, running back, and wide receiver.
Yeah, he has a completion to catch and carries because he had that completion on the first fake punt.
Here's a pass to the near side. That pass is caught. And a couple of yards out of it as the reception will be made by, looks like that was Jackson. Jackson will take it to the 47-yard line. Well, yeah, I mean, Baker's in kick return. He's in punt return. He's on the punt team as the up man, and he's thrown a couple of passes out of that, one of which has been successful on fake punts. He made that great catch down the middle of the field. He's running everywhere. He did not drive the bus to the game, though. But he does pretty much everything else.
Maybe he did.
Howell's going to roll out here on third down. Pass across the middle is going to be caught, and that'll be a first down for DeSoto.
And LaDainian Wall came into this one with 3 catches. Hopefully he's all right. He's on the field, down on the field right now.
Looks like his leg got twisted up a little bit at the end of that play.
But he's made 2 big catches for DeSoto. Had that 4th down conversion on their last touchdown drive, and then big 3rd down catch right here. Yeah, his ankle, his leg just kind of got rolled up on.
That's not how that's supposed to bend.
Yeah.
Hopefully he is all right. He picks up the first down for DeSoto, which will stop the clock with 7:26 remaining here in the third quarter, as the ball will be at the Duncanville 42-yard line. For DeSoto, they now have 9 first downs on the game. Duncanville has 10. But you hope that's for Wall, a senior at 6 feet, 170 pounds. Well, that's good to see. Boy, when you pop up like that, that is always a good sign.
Yeah, because it's never good. You kind of get your leg caught under the defender. But he's able to pop up right there and put a little bit of weight on it. Still.
Maybe not.
Yeah. Still, it's better to be safe than sorry. You got to make sure you're okay. I know you want to get up, but just let the trainers do their job and go through the process.
Why don't we go ahead while we have a moment and look at the top 10 schools in the state of Texas this year. And we obviously had South Lake Carroll in the top 25.
Yeah,
so they're clearly the #1 team here. But, boy, there are a lot of, this whole list is just chock full of fantastic football programs in Texas.
Yeah, Allen, this is one of their better teams they've had here in the last 8 or 9 years. They're off to a 5-0 start. Duncanville, South Oak Cliffs only lost came to Duncanville. Prosper, they play Allen on the 24th in a couple weeks. That's going to be a fun one. I believe that game's on the NFHS network, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not going to start saying stuff I'm not sure about, but that's going to be a fun game on October 24th.
You saw Wall walking off the field. That's good to see. Here's a handoff running right on first down, and that will be stopped at the line of scrimmage, no gain. If you were wondering why DeSoto's not on that list and where they fall, they're actually number 14 in the state of Texas.
They had a rough start to the season. They lost 70-28 to Creekside out in Georgia to start the year, and then the next week they lost 36-27 to a good North Crowley team, a team that lost a lot from last year's state championship team. They won 6A D1, so... But DeSoto's won 3 in a row, and if they get a win here tonight, you'll see them make a big jump in the Texas top 25 along with the national top 100.
On 2nd down and 10, Baker is going to get swarmed at the line of scrimmage, no gain, and that will make it 3rd and 10. Meanwhile, for Duncanville, just 3 games played. It kind of surprised me a little bit. They played on the 5th of September and won against South Oak Cliff 35-28, then had a week off. Played Waxahachie on the 19th and lost by 1, 28-27. Then they played on the 26th against Skyline and won that handily 50-3. They had another week off, and now they're playing here just their 4th game of the year.
And Duncanville kind of has that same problem you see with Mater Dei and St. John Bosco, where a lot of teams kind of close to them elect not to play them, so it's hard for those guys to really fill their schedule because of all the talent they have.
Play action. Howell looking to throw. Here comes the pressure, and he is sacked. Landon Barnes, his 3rd sack of the year, back near midfield, and that'll bring up 4th down. He came from the blind side and leveled the quarterback.
Yeah, nobody picked up Barnes. Just does a good job using his hands and gets to Legend Howell. He's having himself a night. He's, a 4-star for a reason. I know Lane Kiffin can't wait till he gets to Ole Miss.
That is the first sack of the game for Duncanville, each team now with 1. as the punting unit is on for DeSoto. Again, as we mentioned in the first half, that doesn't always mean they're punting. They fake 2, but they're going to punt this one away here. Gordon, he's going to kick it short, trying to keep it away from the return team, but it will take a Duncanville bounce and will be a net 10-yard punt as the Panthers will take over at their own 32.
Yeah, and if you're DeSoto there, you got to know where Landon Barnes is, and you got to double team him. He's just too good to leave one-on-one in an obvious pass situation.
Well, Baker was the running back there to help, but he was looking to the right-hand side and completely missed
you got to know
rusher coming from the left-hand side.
Especially when you don't have KJ Ford on the other side, you got to zone in on Landon Barnes. That's what makes this Duncanville team so tough to go up against, because they have 2 of the best edge rushers in the country. But yeah, KJ Ford, haven't seen him here tonight. Didn't play in last week's game, or the previous game Duncanville had against Dallas Skyline.
Here's Denson on first down, going to throw, hits Theus to the near side. Theus spins out of a tackle, will be met at the 39-yard line. That'll be, actually they're going to give him forward progress to the 40, a gain of 7 yards. As the officials say, that last punt was down at the 33, so a net of 9 yards on the previous punt.
And if you're the Eagles defense, you got to find a way to come up with the turnover. They almost had one on the previous drive as Aiden Marshall had an interception slip through his hands, and then a few plays later, Duncanville punched in for 6.
Yeah, Duncanville's had 7 possessions in the game. They went touchdown, 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 punt, end of half, touchdown. So really only 1 possession where they've had to punt the football away. Here's a pass to the near side, and that is going to be caught. That is a great catch along the sideline for a first down by Zach Turner.
Yeah, I was glad when we were talking to some of the Duncanville coaches earlier, and they said, yeah, he's good to go, man. He's going to be playing. And he's made a couple of big catches here in the second half, had the touchdown and then that nice catch on the sideline.
And credit Robert Singleton for a little bit of a block there at the very end, allowing Denson the extra split second he needed to get the pass off. And now we've got a whistle, and Duncanville is going to call a timeout. With 4:20 left here in the third quarter, they will use their first timeout of the second half with the ball at midfield and a fresh set of downs after their 11th first down of the game.
And Turner's, I mean, he's got that, he's like that hybrid tight end wide receiver. Good chance he'll play tight end when he gets to SMU next year, but you know, 6'3", 215 pounds, and tight ends nowadays aren't tight ends like they were back in your day, Jeff, where they did more blocking, and now they're more kind of pass catchers and stuff like that.
That is fair. That's fair. Well, the shoulder pads were a lot wider. It was hard to get your hands up. But there were a lot of good pass catchers in the NFL.
Kellen Winslow was.
Dave Casper with the Raiders.
Yes.
There were a lot of guys who could play pretty well. In fact, it was kind of interesting on my YouTube algorithm. I don't know how this popped up, but I've been watching this week and just finished a Monday Night Football game from 1979 between the New Orleans Saints and Oakland Raiders.
Oh, wow.
Ken Stabler was the quarterback for the Raiders. Archie Manning, the quarterback for the Saints.
Wow.
That was a lot of fun to watch. Here's a blitz off the edge, and reading it perfectly as Denson hits Ellison in an open spot, and Ellison is going to end this play in the end zone. What a fantastic read on the corner blitz by Denson, a 50-yard touchdown play, and the 6th passing touchdown of the game for the great.
Wow. I mean, he read that perfect. He saw the corner blitz coming. He said, oh, thank you. This is going to be the easiest throw I've had all night. Ellison wide open. That's what impresses me so much with Maximus The Great Denson. He gets rid of the ball so quick. He saw that blitz coming a mile away. Hot read, Ellison, house call.
I don't know which one it was, which of his parents it was who suggested that.
That's got to be a dad thing.
A name, but
it's the same thing with Booby Feaster, man. Dad gave him the nickname at birth. I got my money on the dad. Who you got?
I'm telling you, that was pretty good prognosticating on the father's part right there. Look, kid, I don't know what you're going to be, but whatever it is, it's going to be great, and he has been great in this game.
I tell you what, man, I might be changing Logan's middle name from Thomas to the Great because we're trying to put this into existence as well.
It's a lot to live up to. The kid's not even, he's still in diapers.
Yes. But what a job by Duncanville here in the second half. You know, adjustments, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, exactly how the first half went. Did a good job getting the stop on DeSoto, and boom, 14-0 here in the third quarter.
42-20 after the Wyatt's extra point, his 6th of the game. The cheerleaders all performing backflips. Everything's rolling the right way for the Panthers here in this football game.
And, you know, Duncanville started the year ranked in the top 10, had that tough loss against Waxahachie. A game they were in control of. They had a big lead in the fourth quarter. They gave up a big lead, got the loss, but it's better to lose then early in the season. And I think we got a lead in the clubhouse, huh, Jeff, for POG.
Yeah, so for those of you, if this is the first time you're watching our MaxPreps Game of the Week, we do a player of the game. And when you've thrown 6 touchdown passes and you win, you're likely to get named player of the game, folks. But if you want to suggest an alternate in the comments on our YouTube channel, you're welcome to do so. But you're really going to have to make a case. Right now, he is the leader in the clubhouse.
If we were doing offense and a defensive player of the game, Landon Barnes having an outstanding night for Duncanville, getting pressure. But, yeah, you got 6 tutties, man. It's good luck.
Howell and this DeSoto offense going to see if they can keep pace as a return from the 18-yard line is going to go out to the 38 or 37. Let's see where they spot it. Nice return by DeSoto, but they've got their work cut out for them. They were down 28-6, so by this exact 22-point difference in the first half, and we're able to close it to a 1-possession game right before the end of the half. But they got to start moving here. They got 16 minutes of clock left between the third and fourth quarter, and they've got a ways to go.
And really what got the offense going, they finally said, hey, we're getting the ball to 1. He's our best player. Get the ball to Booby Feaster. He'll make plays. I would expect a lot of number 1 on this drive because this is pretty much a must-score touchdown drive for the Eagles, trailing by 22.
And he's been in single coverage quite a bit. On first down, a handoff, running right, cutting back left. That's a nice gain on first down out to the 45-yard line for a pickup of 8 yards. Off the bench, that was Jaqueline Silas.
I was watching tape of DeSoto, man. He's shifty. He's got some speed, 22 carries for 158 yards this year.
Play action, and there's a pass to the near side that's going to be incomplete. It was intended for Edmondson.
And he's been quiet tonight. He came in as DeSoto's second leading receiver with 11 catches for 238 yards and tied with the team lead with Booby Feaster with 5 tutties.
Now Feaster is in single coverage, press coverage on the far side of the field. Handoff on 3rd and 2 as Silas is going to get 3 to the 48-yard line and pick up a first down.
Yeah, big first down conversion for DeSoto. But like you said, there's still plenty of time. We're at the 3.5-minute mark here in the third quarter. DeSoto just needs to score a touchdown on this drive, and then
Silas runs right, and he fumbled the football, and it's going to be recovered by Duncanville. Wow. Boy, that ball shot out of his hands, and Victor Lincoln, the cornerback, the recipient on the far side of the field.
Yeah, great job by the Arkansas commit to come up with the loose ball, and just a huge turnover for DeSoto. Yeah, I couldn't tell who got a hand on it to punch it out, but heads-up play by Lincoln to jump on it.
And so on the fumble, the first turnover of the game by either team, Duncanville will take over with a chance to put a definitive stamp on this game with the ball at their own 46-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like it was 23, Gatelin Cryer, to get his hand on the ball.
Yeah,
force it out.
And we haven't talked about Gatelin Cryer very much, but he came in with 2 fumble recoveries, 3 tackles for a loss, and was leading the team in tackles with 20. And we haven't called his name at all tonight, but he came in at just the right time to force the turnover.
We can jot down a forced fumble on his resume so far.
Here is a pass that's going to be incomplete, intended for Ellison, as a nice job defensively. DeSoto reading that pretty well. That was Aiden Marshall getting in there and really forcing that pass to go a little bit higher than Denson wanted to throw it.
Yeah, if you're already trailing by 3 scores, if Duncanville can get a touchdown drive here, this one feels like it's all but over.
Armand Walton's going to check into the game for Duncanville at tight end. He's going to line up on the right-hand side in kind of a shotgun offset I formation with Singleton in the backfield. Here is a handoff to Singleton running left. He's going to run behind his tight end, and that's going to be no gain to the 46-yard line. That will set up 3rd and 10.
So good job by DeSoto's defense here on these first 2 plays. Now you set up a 3rd and long, and You know, looking at Duncanville's offensive line, it's really the 2 tackles that set the tone. Aiden Williams, 54, the left tackle. He's got 5 offers: San Diego State, Colorado State, and TCU, Texas Tech, and UTEP. And then on the right tackle, you got Kendrick Harris, a sophomore, 6'4", 285 pounds. He's got 5 offers, led by Auburn and Ole Miss.
On 3rd down, Denson going to try to throw. He's going to throw underneath, and that pass is, what do we got here? It's Turner who's the intended target, but the pass is incomplete.
Yeah, refs really weren't too confident on what call they were going to make. But
I was looking at like 3 different ones to see who was going to signal incomplete, and finally we got one. So, but they want to make sure they got the call correctly. So
yeah, it looks like they got it right. Looked like that one bounced off the turf. So good job by DeSoto's defense. They get the turnover here. Duncanville, you know, if they get a touchdown on that drive, it's not looking great for DeSoto, already trailing by 22. But good job forcing a 3 and out. Yeah. Now you got Booby Feaster back there. If he gets a chance to return this one, there's a chance he could take it all the way.
Yancey on to punt. That one's almost blocked. It is a very short kick. It is going to take a Duncanville bounce to the DeSoto 36-yard line. And so the Eagles need to get their offense going here. They trail 42-20. There's still 2:22 left in the 3rd quarter. So still a ton of time. We've seen stranger things happen at the high school level and games just like this, but first you got to get the offense rolling.
Yeah, and you know, it all started with their defense bailing out Silas there after the fumble. Do a great job. Not a ton of time really came off the clock either. You had 2 incomplete passes with the 1 run, so only, you know, about 40-45 seconds came off the clock. So, but DeSoto's got to start speeding things up. They need a touchdown here on this drive, and a quick one.
They're going to go with a 4-receiver package here on 1st down. 1 receiver to the near side is Stevens. On 1st down, Howell looking to throw. Going to throw underneath. That pass is caught. That will be a 1st down for the Eagles. Just shy of midfield. They're going to mark it right at midfield. A gain of 14 yards on the pass to Jackson.
Yeah, good job by the DeSoto offense there. They kind of had Duncanville's defense a little confused because Booby Feaster lined up in the backfield and you had Sherrod Baker lined up at wide receiver. We got a player down here, looks like cramping for DeSoto, one of the offensive linemen.
Yep, an injured player down, so we have a timeout on the field. That's right, it was Sherrod Baker, not Stevens, who was lined up on the near side. You've got a lot of playmakers for DeSoto. You've got Feaster, who's got a touchdown pass in this game, a couple of them actually, but and Baker, who's been very effective, but the consistency in getting them the ball or getting openings for Baker to run. He'll have a series of runs where he gets a yard, maybe 2. Then in a couple of series from now, he breaks 1 for 9.
Yeah.
So it's been very kind of hit or miss, and thus just 20 points on the board for DeSoto because the offense has been kind of, I don't know, stop and go.
Yeah, and you get a look too as Cortland Jackson coming off the field. He's really been their 2nd best receiver here tonight, so that'd be a big miss if he can't come back out here on this drive. Hopefully for him, it looks like just cramping. But sometimes once you get those cramps, though, they kind of stick with you the rest of the game.
Yeah, we'll see how he's able to come back in this one, if at all. Coming in to replace him is Xavier Davis, who's got 12 catches for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season. He's the receiver closest to the near sideline. He's joined over there by the tight end. Here comes pressure off the edge. This time Howell's ready. He spins away from it, looking for someone to throw to. He's going to throw to the near side. That pass is incomplete. He was trying to connect with his tight end who'd lined up on that side, Donovan Willis. And, you know, honestly, Willis kept going to the sideline. If he cut back a little bit into the middle of the field, he would have been open. That was the open spot in the zone.
Yeah, a good job by Howell, at least to avoid the sack from Landon Barnes. And just a tough throw. It looked like he was kind of cramping up on that throw as well, too. His leg kind of gave out.
And now we got a player down way deep in the secondary.
Everybody's.
So suddenly you've got players dropping all over the place here.
Yeah. Elon Tryon.
Now one of the strong safeties, senior for Duncanville's standing around his 15-yard line, and he's down on the ground. So hopefully nothing too dramatic there.
Yeah, it'd be interesting too to keep an eye on Legend Howell, see how how he's doing, because he had a kind of a limp going off there after that last throw.
Well, and not surprisingly, it's been warm in Texas.
Yeah.
It's 89 degrees today. Not very humid.
I don't know what's going on, man. In my hotel, the air conditioner hasn't been really working too great. So I'm like, man, what's going on here? You know, I'm paying all this money to stay at a nice hotel, and I can't even get my AC going, man. I wouldn't mind if it's next week in Oregon, but we're here in Texas, man.
If the management is watching the game right now, you guys have about an hour and a half.
You noticed I didn't mention where I'm staying.
That's
so
true.
I'm being nice in that regard.
All right. Look, everyone's a potential sponsor on the MaxPreps Game of the Week.
Exactly.
That slot is open.
Exactly.
So here on 2nd down and 10. Howell drops back, steps up in the pocket, avoids the rush, rolls right, throws underneath, ball pops in the air. It's going to be dropped. Wow.
Everybody wanted that interception. They knocked it out of each other's hands.
You got too greedy there.
Wow.
Everyone wanted a piece. Nobody gets any bread.
There was a party of 3 for Duncanville on that interception, man.
This looks like wings at Hooters in the evening, and nobody grabs it out of the basket.
Oh, boy. Big 99, man. He wanted his chance at the interception. Corey Johnson, 6'1", 290. He said, I don't get this chance often, guys. I am going for this, and he knocks it out of his teammate's hand.
5 players saw glory, and it all tumbled onto the field.
But you can tell Legend Howell, he's a little banged up. He's, trying to run outside the pocket and make plays, but a little slow with that.
Oh, here's a great bit of penetration along the defensive line. Dylan Williams, the defensive tackle, meets Baker in the backfield, and that is, I think, an invitation Baker did not want to extend.
Yeah, great job by this DeSoto defense. Nice job to not allow anything for DeSoto. They tried to catch him off guard, run it on 3rd and 10. Dylan Williams not having any of it.
That is a loss of 4 yards. 4th down and 14. And the punting unit is on for the Eagles. The kick away. This is returnable. From the 16-yard line, it's Theus. Heading to the far side, crosses the 25. He'll be knocked out of bounds at the 26, a return of 10 yards. But again, still a lot of time left. We've got a whole 4th quarter to play, but Duncanville's defense comes up big once again, and the lead stays exactly where it is.
Yeah, they've really stepped up here in the second half. Forced 2 punts and then had that turnover. That was a big opportunity for DeSoto because their defense came up with a stand, forced a punt, a 3-and-out. Not a lot of time ran off the clock, but Panthers defense responds and forces another punt from DeSoto. Get a look at Claude Mathis. He's done a tremendous job with this program. He's currently in his 7th season. During his 2nd stint, was here from 2008 to 2014. Had DeSoto ranked at number 1 at one point, but then lost to Kyler Murray and Allen in the playoffs.
Well, that's not a slouch school, that's for sure. Here's a quick pass, far side. Denson gets the ball to Ellison. Ellison will be knocked out of bounds at the 41-yard line for a gain of 14. Another 1st down for the Panthers.
And you can kind of feel the wind kind of fall out of DeSoto's sideline after they didn't score on that last drive. You score there, you kind of make this game a little interesting, cut it to a 2-score lead, but trailing 42-20 against this high-powered Duncanville offense.
Yeah, you need a big play. You need something like, not just a pick, but like a pick
six.
Yeah. And they've had a couple of chances to get an interception on Denson, but for the most part, he has been flawless in this game. On 1st down, he's going to run the option. Tossing to his trail man, that's Theus. Theus is going to be knocked out of bounds at the 44-yard line. He'll pick up 3 yards on the play.
Nice job by Demarion Ross there, the safety, to come up, make the play. We get a late flag. It looks like this one's going to be on DeSoto.
At least that's what Zach Turner is saying. Now, he's not wearing a striped shirt, but we'll see if the referees agree with him. That's a dead ball penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct, and that is against DeSoto.
So Zach Turner was right?
He was. Well, he's named Zach. I mean,
He's always right.
That's right. That's how that works, I think.
My wife might tell you different. Usually the one that says you're right, but tonight's my night.
Look, write it while you can.
Yes, exactly.
So the 41-yard line on the 15-yard penalty. The ball now on the Eagles side of the field. And players shuffling in and out here for Duncanville is checking in. Luciano Lopez will line up at tight end to the left. This is a play action to Singleton. The pass to the outside will be caught. Forward progress is only going to yield a couple of yards for the Panthers, a gain of 2 to the 39. But here the Duncanville Panthers content to let the clock wind down to 0 here in the third quarter. They score twice to take a 28-20 halftime lead and make it 42-20 after the third. We'll be back with fourth quarter action from Duncanville High School right after this.
They score! Cross comes in!
He gone, folks. Look at him go. We're going to have to watch the clock.
Duncanville, as they start the fourth quarter, going right to left across your screen. Quick hitter to the near side. This is Theus, who will be pushed out of bounds at the 34-yard line on second down. That'll make it about a 3rd down and 3 for the Panthers.
So there's a little rumor going out that we might be tossing the stone here soon. He's going to be maybe talking to a fan.
Chris Stonebreaker, yes, he has been on special assignment here in the second half, and we think he has managed to infiltrate the student section here at Duncanville High School and will be interviewing an unsuspecting student who's about to start his 15 minutes of fame.
Good luck to whoever that kid is.
Here is a rollout on a read option by Denson. He's going to pick up the first down. He's run out of bounds at the 29-yard line. And Chris, what does your student have to say about that play?
Well, my students are going to do something. We're going to do a new thing. It's 4 questions in the fourth quarter, but as we have one, the other student is going to be drawing Texas. So, what's your name? The senior. The drawer tonight. What's your name? DJ. Nice to meet you. Are you ready for this? You ready to draw? Drawing Texas. You have as much time when he answers the question. So pick up your piece of paper. All right. Once he starts answering the questions, you can start drawing Texas. 3. 1. So what is your mascot? How many state championships have your football team won? And the last question, who was the alumni that was named Super Bowl MVP? Let's see Texas, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. That's the effort. That's the effort right there. Good job, guys.
Well, not bad on the drawing and not bad on that pass play either, as Trenton Yancey hauls in another one from Denson, who has made it a 7-touchdown night.
Wow. Hey, that drawing looked like more an arrow down, and that's what Yancey's saying. Hey, throw it to me. I'm down here in the back of the end zone for the touchdown.
29 yards on the pass play after the first down conversion, and wow, I can't believe I've seen a 7-touchdown game from a quarterback. That is just fantastic, and a great catch by Yancey.
Yeah, Yancey one-on-one there. Corner fell down. Easy touchdown catch for the junior. This dude's a baller, man. He had a good sophomore year, had 29 catches for 446 yards and 7 touchdowns, but he's taking a big jump here his junior year, the team's leading wide receiver.
We have a false start against Duncanville, and that will be their first penalty of the second half. This on the extra point. That is the second touchdown reception for Yancey.
Let me ask you this, though, Jeff. What did you think of that drawing? He was supposed to, basically, if the mic was cutting in and out, he had to draw the state of Texas before, I didn't catch his name, but the other dude could answer 4 rapid-fire questions.
Oh, look, you're under pressure. You're on camera.
Yeah.
There's some technical difficulties. Yes. You're able to persevere as this extra point try is going to be wide left. And so we will stay at 48-20. I thought that was pretty good considering.
I thought the drawing was a little disappointing. I thought it looked like a down arrow. I mean, drawing that, especially on the fly, that's tough. He did better than I would. I'm not a great Pictionary player. That dude is probably a little better than me, but
I was going to say I was comparing myself to Pictionary, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty stellar what he just did right there. I would have guessed that correctly as his partner.
That's very true. You know what? So he is a mediocre drawer, so I'll give him that. I probably would have been able to guess that as well.
Yeah, see, look, I would have gotten that. Come on.
Doesn't that look like a downward arrow, kind of?
Well, maybe a little, but like, you know, you're free drawing the state of Texas.
Yeah, good job.
You know how long it took him to create these borders accurately? There were a lot of people who went out and surveyed this stuff, and he's doing it just off of memory. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah,
I will take him in the post-game Pictionary that we're going to light up here in the press box afterward. He's on my team.
Okay, I'll take Chris.
I have not seen Chris play Pictionary, but his hands are probably still a little barbecue stain from Benny's Barbecue that was brought to us today by Jacob Benavides and his team over at Benny's Barbecue.
So the story on that was you met him on a flight to Dallas for your connecting flight?
From Atlanta after one of our games, yep. Okay. I think it was after our game between IMG and Central Phoenix City, and he's got his own catering company in Waxahachie, and we connected to go ahead and get us set up with barbecue here because that's what you do when you're in Texas, and he did a great job, and you could follow them on Instagram, Benny's Barbecue, folks, and they can cater your event as well.
I still haven't got to mine yet.
I tell you what, the Part A was really good, and there's still a lot left over, so
I might have to take 2 home.
DeSoto takes it out to the 31-yard line on the return. That was Xavier Davis doing the honors, and so the Eagles with the ball at their own 31-yard line, and with 10:58 remaining and leftover barbecue looming, the Eagles are going to have to get things going offensively here to try to close this gap, but it's going to have to be one possession at a time. On first down, Howell is going to hand it off. This is Baker, who starts inside, bounces outside, and this is kind of what we're talking about. He'll try to take it into the middle, and this is not necessarily on Baker.
Yeah.
Duncanville's defense has been very good tonight, but when he's able to bounce outside and get an open space, he's been very effective. He'll pick up 8 yards there.
And, you know, Jeff, we were talking about the District of Doom earlier.
As Howell, a quick hitter to the outside. That's a nice catch by
the hands on
Feaster. Holy cow, just snatches it out of the air.
That was a Randy Johnson fastball. And Feaster, what a catch.
Yeah.
And going across his body.
A Randy Johnson fastball and a Randy Moss catch.
Yes, I like it.
Look at that.
That's nice. I can't wait till he gets to USC.
A first down for the Eagles. Here's a handoff up the middle. Baker across the 45 to the 48-yard line.
But, you know, looking at this District of Doom, if Duncanville holds on to win this game, Cedar Hill's the only team left that is undefeated in district play. So that really opens a door, and it's going to be a fun finish. You know, Duncanville's won this district every year except for last year since 2021 when DeSoto won it in 2023.
Here's a handoff again. That'll be enough for an Eagles first down as they're keeping it on the ground. Baker will take it into Duncanville territory at the 49-yard line. Well, and Duncanville now really getting they now control their own fate.
Yes.
In that if they had lost this game, DeSoto would have really been in the driver's seat. Now Duncanville will be.
Yeah, and Duncanville plays Cedar Hill last game of the season on November 6th.
That'll be a good one as Howell's going to roll to his left. He's going to throw downfield, and that pass is going to be caught. What a catch by none other than Booby Feaster.
And he's got to be thinking, man, just throw me the ball. You know, one-on-one coverage, got 2 guys on me. It doesn't matter. I'm going to come up and make a play. This dude is one of the best all-around wide receivers in the country. You saw his speed on that long touchdown. But look at the body control there.
I mean, it's almost on the corner's back.
Wow.
He's looking for Feaster again. Why not? And he's going to throw it up there into double coverage this time, a little bit too far away as Victor Lincoln in coverage, and then safety help from Braylon Edwards.
Yeah, Lincoln just did a good job there. He was using the sideline as kind of the second defender as well, so really nowhere for for Legend Howell to drop the ball into Feaster. But, man, what a catch by Feaster on this play right here, as Legend Howell fakes it to his right, and a good job to find his 4-star wide receiver. Just the body control there to make the catch.
He doesn't need a lot of space. There's a handoff, Baker up the middle. Nice cut by Baker. He's in the end zone, a touchdown from 20 yards out.
Exactly what DeSoto needed. They got to score a touchdown fast. Did a good job throwing the ball to Feaster there, and Baker punches it in for his second rushing touchdown of the night. So Baker with 2 touchdowns and Booby Feaster with 2 touchdowns, the 2 top playmakers for the Eagles.
He has a 37-yard touchdown run. He adds a 20-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, just a outstanding job by the offensive line. He really had to just make one move, and one-on-one with Baker, that's tough.
48-26. You got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. It's going to go against DeSoto. That's the part where we talked about control your flow, and you can't be having that this late in the game, especially if you're down by a lot, but you're trying to cling to some level of hope. You've got to maintain your poise there. And that'll be marched off on the kickoff.
Yeah, you could tell Claude Mathis was not too happy for that penalty, and that's the second one we've seen after a touchdown for DeSoto.
Trying to make it a 20-point game here on a 2-point conversion. They've attempted 1 2-point conversion so far, actually a couple, and they've missed on those. Here is a handoff. They're going to give it to Silas, and he will get in. And it's nice to see them go back to him after he had that fumble earlier on his last carry. Silas is going to get in there for the 2-point conversion, and now we've got players kind of...
That might have been Xavier Davis, too, lined up in the backfield.
Well, and credit Howell, who got in there amongst all those players and told his teammates, let's just get back to the sideline, guys. We got work to do here. That 2-point conversion successful makes it 48-28.
I don't know, though, Jeff. I don't have the best eyes either, so...
Let's take a look at that again as Silas getting the carry. Or excuse me, that wasn't Silas. I thought it was Silas. It was Davis. Yeah, excuse me.
And he's been used a little bit as a running back this year. 12 carries, 116 yards, has 2 touchdowns. Gets the 2-point conversion there. So 48-28. I think we're going to get an onside kick here.
Yeah, especially if you're back 15 yards at your own 25-yard line.
That's actually that makes it a little tougher now, I guess, but still.
I mean, you can try to boot it a little bit, but you're still giving Duncanville good field position at around midfield anyway, most likely. So given they've been kicking it short on purpose, I got to think that you might as well just try to, I mean, if you were running fake punts in the first half, you might as well do an onside kick here in the fourth quarter. You got 9:08 to play. There's still a lot of time left, but you need a lot of possessions. DeSoto still with all 3 of their timeouts. We'll see what they elect to do here.
DeSoto will kick off from their own 25-yard line.
It's going to be Jacob Flores. They're not lined up in a conventional onside kick formation, but you never know. Flores, he's going to boot it down the middle of the field. This is going to be returnable from the 25-yard line. Nice kick coverage. The ball will be returned to the 41. That's a 16-yard return, but a nice job by the Eagles getting down there and making the tackle. I think that might have been Jace Hill Douglas on special teams slowing that one down. So Duncanville will have the football with 9:01 left in the game, up by 20 points with the ball at their own 41-yard line, and DeSoto would like nothing more than a 3-and-out here, Zach.
So I was looking up to see what the record is for most passing touchdowns in a game in the state of Texas. What do you think it is?
9?
12.
12.
Because I was thinking, hey, maybe we're going to get a chance to see Maximus the Great have a chance to tie the record or break the record. But no, 12. Peyton Bevel, Stanford, back in 2018. Shout out to Kevin Asselin. He does a MaxPreps record book. As Duncanville's trying to run it here on first down, I think we're going to get a holding penalty.
Yeah, Singleton looking to break one all the way. Boy, he really weaved through traffic just to get into open field, and he's going to be tackled at the 19-yard line, but we have a penalty marker way back in the backfield. It's going to be holding against Duncanville.
Yeah, I felt bad because I was trying to talk, and I'm going over your play-by-play, and dude breaks off a big run, but there's a penalty to negate it. So all for naught.
You feel less bad now?
Yes, exactly. But I was trying to give a shout out to our guy, Kevin Aslan. This guy is an encyclopedia. You think I know a lot about high school football. This guy knows everything about every sport at the high school level. But we have our record book on MaxPreps. It's the best source you can use if you're trying to look at any record in any state, especially for high school football. So you can check it out at MaxPreps. It's got every state. It's got every national record. So shout out to Kevin Aslan, man. He does a great job for us, man. He gives us so much good stuff, good stories from past to now or future.
Thank you, Kevin. I'm not used to that level of care here. We're getting really taken care of here by our staff. That's
I got to give a shout out to Kevin Aslan, man. He's the best at what he does for sure.
Duncanville's going to call a timeout here with 8:24 left in the fourth quarter after that holding penalty pushes them back to the 31-yard line. I think the coaching staff, they've got one timeout remaining. They just want to be careful here because you don't, want to keep moving backwards and then you punt the football away and now you've got a short field for DeSoto and you're giving them a little bit of life. You got to finish the game.
Well, and they knew too. It's like, hey, this dude's talking a lot, still talking about Kevin Aslan. I don't want to step on your toes for a second consecutive play. So shout out to you, Original Samples.
I don't know if they've got a sideline feed going there, but let's go ahead and take a look at next week's game on the MaxPreps Game of the Week as we go to Oregon, West Lynn and Lake Oswego. We're in Portland in the Pacific Northwest. We've been in warm confines for the entire year, just staying in the southern part of the United States between Southern California and Georgia. We've been in Alabama, Texas, but now we're going to the Pacific Northwest where there'll probably be a little bit of drizzle.
Yeah.
And a football game between the number 1 and number 2 teams in the state of Oregon as long as they win this week. Both undefeated. Should be an outstanding game. A 6A matchup. As Denson's going to throw the ball to the far side, incomplete, looking for Zach Turner. And we go back to Chris Stonebreaker, and let's see where Chris has moved. He was on the DeSoto side of the field earlier, and let's see where he's gotten himself to now. Chris?
Hey, guys, I did move across the field, and now I went from DeSoto back here to Duncanville. How you guys doing today? Hey, this is the winning team, so right now they're chilling. All right, I'm going to introduce you. The same thing over here. 4 questions in the fourth quarter. My guy here, what's your name?
Ocio Hernandez.
And?
Gilbert Sosa Perez.
All right. He'll be doing all the questions. He'll be doing the drawing, right? Yes, you guys got it? All right, we're starting it right now. 3, and you could have seen probably the answers on it, but that's all right. It's fine. I saw it. It's on ChatGPT. All right, 3, 2, and 1. What is your mascot?
Panther.
Okay. Head coach's name?
Original Samples.
Okay. How many state championships has the Duncanville Panthers? 3. Good job on that. And the last question. Who were the 2 class of 2025 Panthers that were first team MaxPreps All-Americans?
Corey Moore and Keelan Russell?
Yeah. Wait. All right. Show the camera. I'm going to tell you what. This is terrible. There is nothing.
I think he's getting expelled from Texas. I think they eject you from the state for that.
I'm giving it to DeSoto. I'm sorry, guys, because this sucks.
DeSoto might be winning the football game.
Have a good day.
Duncanville might be winning the football game.
But hey,
we're not winning the drawing contest.
What a tackle by Damari Thurman there on 3rd down for Duncanville. Now you're forcing the Panthers to punt here. You still got 7 minutes left on the clock, but yeah. I'm not taking that dude on Pictionary.
I think you lose your citizenship here in Texas if you draw the state like that.
Yes, that was not good.
They send you to Arkansas. Here's the kick from Duncanville, end over end, and it is going to bounce back in DeSoto's favor and will be downed inside the 25-yard line. Well, we're having a lot of fun here on the MaxPreps Game of the Week, but DeSoto has a chance with 6:42 to play. They're obviously down 3 scores, but they scored the last time they had the football. They moved the ball pretty effectively. It didn't take them that long to do it, and they're going to see if they can march from their own 24-yard line this time and get on the board again. But they had a heavy dose, Zach, of Feaster and Baker the last time they had the football, and I think they're going to have to stick with that formula.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to give a shout out to their defense there. They needed to stop, and they got it. Nice job by Damari Thurman there to make the tackle on 3rd and 3.
DBs are playing off these receivers a little bit on first down. The handoff is going to go left-hand side, and a yard on the play to the 25-yard line, maybe 2 to the 26.
And if you're DeSoto, man, you got to speed things up. You got to score quick because you need at least 2 more possessions after this one, trailing by 20.
That was Xavier Davis with a 2-yard gain. Long look at the sideline. Feaster's just saying, hey, throw me the ball wherever you want.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of guy you've got. I feel like a lot of targets his direction is a smart idea. 4 receivers set, 1 back in the backfield. Howell is going to hand it off again. Bouncing off a tackler, breaking a tackle, and picking up some good yardage across the 30. Once again, that's Davis out to the 33-yard line, setting up 3rd down and 1.
If you're Duncanville, though, you don't mind this. Hey, keep running the ball, keep that clock going. And, you know, getting back to Booby Feaster, DeSoto's had a lot of great receivers. You know, Laviska Chenault was a 2nd-round pick. James Prochet was in that same draft, drafted in the 6th round. Katie Nixon and, you know, a bunch of other guys, too. Jonte Cook is probably the best, but, yeah, 3 straight runs.
And a 1st down for DeSoto at the 36-yard line. They now have as many 1st downs in the second half as they did in the first half. 14 total, 7 in each half. They're moving the chains, but this is the kind of drive you'd expect like mid-second quarter, not trailing by 3 scores. So either they're just trying to work on some things here, or...
And even in between plays, it's taken a lot of time for them to get set up.
And they've been up to the line of scrimmage quickly in earlier parts of the game. They played a little more fast break football. As Howell's going to roll out, throw the ball away. He's trying to get it to Edmondson. That will be incomplete, setting up 2nd and 10. Well, you had Feaster down the field. He's getting double coverage everywhere he goes, but gosh, I like my chances throwing him the football.
Yeah, and, you know, nice job by Duncanville's defense to kind of get a little pressure on Legend Howell, forced him to go the direction he didn't want to go. Really had 1 wide receiver and running on that side of the field, and Antron Edmondson, and smartly just threw it away. But yeah, I'm going out on a limb, Jeff. I'm going to say Booby Feaster is the best wide receiver in DeSoto history. Jonte Cook had a great career, but I think Booby Feaster has moved past him.
Well, and if you look at it, if you even set the stats aside and you look at just his ability to make plays and the kind of receiver he is, I think the potential is really high.
Yeah, and I think which is crazy to think, but I think he's going to be a guy. Look like DeSoto, they called timeout here. And
they did.
That's a crucial timeout because you want to have all 3 timeouts in your back pocket. And real quick, though, looking at Booby Feaster, he's going to have a chance to play as a true freshman at USC, which is crazy to think because he's even turned 17 until May.
It's remarkable the difference the kids are making at a younger age, and the fact that he reclassified and is still only 16 years old and he's making all these plays. Pretty remarkable. As we look at next week's games here on the NFHS Network, obviously we've talked about our MaxPreps Game of the Week, West Lynn and Lake Oswego, but we got St. John Bosco, the #1 team in the country, against Santa Margarita, Lake Travis and Dripping Springs in Texas, Thompson, Hoover in Alabama, McEachern and Hillgrove in Georgia. Those games you can all watch on the NFHS Network as Hal's going to throw a deep ball and just overshoot his receiver. We have a penalty marker down, though, way deep in the secondary as Hal was going for Edmondson, and that pass goes incomplete. But it looks like this penalty is going to go against Duncanville.
Yeah, the ref called that penalty pretty fast. I wasn't sure what he called. It looks like it's going to be
a 15-yarder or
pass
something.
Interference on Duncanville.
That's going to give DeSoto a 1st down. The ball will be at the Duncanville 49-yard line after the 15-yard penalty. There must have been a hold or a grab or something we didn't see, and as the ball was being launched down the field. Nice pass by Howell. He's going to throw a wide receiver screen underneath to Feaster, who will be tripped up at the 45-yard line. That is great pursuit defensively by Ja'Cory Johnson, who makes the tackle.
6'1", 290, getting out there and getting the ankles of Booby Feaster.
Cat-like quickness, a 3-yard gain.
That was huge, too, because if he gets by him, he's got blockers in front. He's got space.
Well, you can see what DeSoto's trying to do is get the ball to your playmaker and let him make a play. So smart move, and they almost did it.
And perfect for them, too. He's, only a 3-4 yard gain, so the clock's still running with no 1st down.
2nd and 7. This is a run by Davis to the 45-yard line. He'll get a yard. 3rd down.
Yeah.
Well, I think.
Oh, wow, another penalty, late flag.
Yeah, coming in way after the play's over. That'll stop the clock with 4 minutes exactly left in the game. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Duncanville.
I mean, those have really been the 2 big plays on this drive for DeSoto, are the 2 penalties.
That's the 30 yards worth.
And this one stops the clock as well, right at the 4-minute mark.
So this will put the ball at the Duncanville 30 with 4 minutes to go.
So the clock does restart back up after they get the chain set.
Nice job jumping into the open hole. Davis up the middle. He's going to get a 1st down to the 16, a gain of 14 yards. Well, DeSoto has not been moving offensively like they're in a hurry. But they've got an opportunity here to get some points on the board. With still a lot of time left, but they continue to run the football, which surprises me somewhat. Zach, I don't know where you are on that, but Davis is going to end up losing a couple.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you because, I mean, you got to have 2 more possessions after this one. And, you know, with just over 3 minutes left, if you don't get a couple onside kicks, you're not going to have that opportunity.
I know we're operating like this game is still in play, even though it's a 20-point game.
I've seen crazier things in the final 4 minutes, and, you know, it's a little shocking to see a few runs.
There is a pass to the outside. That's a nice tackle in the open field. Wow, what a play on the far side by Victor Lincoln, who had that fumble recovery earlier in the game and now makes a nice open field tackle for a loss of a couple yards.
Yeah, he's a stud, man. 6'1", 175 pounds, 3-star, committed to Arkansas.
Duncanville band had a nice performance earlier on. Now they've formed a chorus line. 3rd down and 12. Clock continues to move here as the officials having a conversation. Now they're going to stop it. Well, a lot of fans have filed out of Duncanville High School, assuming a Panthers win. The band is acting as if that's imminent, and we're about 2.5 minutes away from it, as Howell is going to be sacked in the backfield for the 2nd time tonight.
Dylan Williams looked like he was the first guy to get his big paws on Legend Howell. Their defensive line really having a nice night here tonight.
4th down, and that sack may be the final nail here. I'm going to think that DeSoto is going to go for it, but first, a timeout.
Yeah, a little surprising on this drive. They are, you know, 48-28 ball game, but a lot of runs. You know, this drive took plenty of time.
Exactly.
Burned 2 timeouts as well.
That's right. Each team now with 1 remaining.
Yeah, you're right, Jeff. A lot of the DeSoto folks left a little early.
Well, it was, I mean, people showing up.
Yeah.
3 hours ahead of time. I mean, when I rolled in here at about 5 o'clock, the parking lot was pretty full.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah, last 2 weeks, man. Macaulay Baylor, what a game that was last week. What I mean,
the atmosphere.
If you're a high school football fan, that needs to be on your bucket list. You got to go to at least one Macaulay Baylor game in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I mean, even Peyton Manning showed up. His son, of course, would be going there. He's already enrolled at the school in 8th grade, but he was sitting with Tennessee's head baseball coach.
We recommend you get there early.
Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty full. It was standing room only last week. As Howell looking to throw on 4th down. Here comes the pressure. He's going to roll away from it. Throw underneath, and trying to make the one-handed catch was Xavier Davis, but he couldn't hold on to the football. And that will be a turnover on downs, and Duncanville just has to run out the clock, and they will move to 3-1 on the year, 2-1 in district play.
And Landon Barnes, once again, just getting in the backfield. And, you know, even if Xavier Davis comes up with that great one-handed catch, there was a couple of Duncanville defenders there waiting for him. He had to pick up another 15 yards to get the 1st down. Big win for Duncanville, though. Yeah. They needed this win, especially with that loss to Waxahachie. You don't want to have 2 district losses.
Yeah, and that one a 28-27 game. They came in averaging 37.3 points a game and giving up 19.7. And they had an offense walking in DeSoto that had been scoring almost 48 points a game, and they hold them to 20 below their average. And then this DeSoto defense, giving up 26 points a game. They give up 48 tonight, 7 touchdowns from Maximus The Great Denson. 7 touchdown passes.
So who do you think the player of the game is, Jeff?
It's definitely my guy, the kicker. Mitchell Wyatt's.
I'm not going to lie, man. That was pretty swaggy, though, when he made that 36-yard PAT and he did a little, I don't know what kind of dance that was. I'm not as cool as a lot of these kids, but it's, I can't even remember what that game's called now. Kids play. Oh, man, I'm old.
And you said that game, and normally I'd be like, oh, it must be this game. No, yes. I have no idea either.
Yeah, wow.
But was a handoff. Denson going to give it off to his running back, just trying to burn some clock. That's a painful carry to the near side as Singleton's going to take it to the 35-yard line for a gain of 1, setting up 3rd and 2. But I think you could just take a knee from here if you're Duncanville, because there's under 40 seconds to play and there's 20 seconds now on the play clock.
Yeah, great man. Maximus The Great Denson. What a night. 7 touchdown passes. And Duncanville, man, they just have so many great playmakers at the wide receiver position.
Yeah, the officials are. The officials, let's see, are they calling a timeout here?
DeSoto might have called their last timeout.
Okay. I thought
you can see, there's a little lesson going on there with Claude Mathis and Damari Thurman. You got a little physical there with, I believe it was Ayson Theus.
Oh, Theus, okay.
Yeah, I think they got a little physical on the last play.
Well, let's take a look at some of these great throws from Max Denson over the course of this game, and we got a lot to choose from. He had 7 of them, of course, so it's a longer highlight package than normal.
Zach Turner, great catch there. That was the first touchdown of the second half. And this was his last touchdown, hitting one of his favorite targets, Trenton Yancey, junior wide receiver.
Yancey with 2 touchdown receptions. Theus with 2 touchdown receptions. Ellison, 2 touchdown receptions.
And Turner with 1.
Yep. That's making sure everybody eats. And now he's going to keep the ball himself and slide down at the 45-yard line, picking up the first down as Denson, and that's just icing on what's been a 7-layer cake tonight for the quarterback.
7 touchdown, 7-layer. I see what you're doing there, partner.
Thank you very much.
But I think it's safe to say he's going to be getting some offers coming his way. He had 2 offers coming in tonight. We saw some college coaches on the field. Who knows, maybe they're going to hit up the great and say, hey, bud, want to come ball for us?
SMU not far from here as the final on the board, 48-28. Duncanville winning it over DeSoto. Duncanville 3-1 now on the season. DeSoto falls to 3-3.
Reginald Samples, 354 wins now during his legendary career.
He has 122 wins at Lincoln. He's now got 122 wins at Duncanville. Well, folks, the MaxPreps Game of the Week post-game show coming up in just a few moments. Invite you to stay with us as Duncanville wins it 48-28 over DeSoto.
The MaxPreps Game of the Week is brought to you by GoFan, the leading ticketing solution for high schools. Skip the line and get your tickets instantly on the GoFan app. And by the NFHS Network. Watch your favorite teams live and on demand with the largest broadcast network for high school sports.
Cross comes in!
He gone, folks. Look at him go. We're going to have to watch the clock.
Here. You try to make it every week, but sometimes life gets in the way. With the NFHS Network, you can be there, catching those important moments live while on the go. And even if you're at the game, you're stuck behind your phone trying to record that one great moment you'll remember forever. With the NFHS Network, live and on-demand games with highlights and game recaps will be ready for you to rewatch and share with friends and family. 30 sports across 50 states, 500,000 games. One way to get closer to the athlete who matters most, yours. NFHS Network. Be in the stands wherever you are.
Back at Duncanville High School, Jeff Kurtz, Zach Poff, 48-28 the final. Duncanville over DeSoto here in the District of Doom. And tonight, Doom was wearing number 3.
Yes.
As Maximus The Great Denson, 7 touchdown passes on the game to 4 different receivers, 3 receivers with 2 touchdowns each. Turner with 1. Really just a fantastic night for Denson overall. And Chris Stonebreaker has done something that DeSoto was unable to do tonight, and that was corral Denson. He's got him for a post-game interview with our player of the game. Chris?
This is my guy right here. This is my guy. Denson, what did you see tonight on the field that made it so easy? You had 7 touchdown passes.
Man, it was really nothing. It's just the work we put in, week out. You know, they said the games we haven't played, we was going to come out rusty, but tonight I believed in my team, and we just came out, we put in the work.
Well, I have to ask you the question, Maximus The Great Denson, how do you get the middle name The Great?
Well, Maximus The Great is my first name, King is my middle name, so my parents named me that, and I guess they had great expectations for me, so I got to live up to that.
After tonight, what did you see from your team moving forward for the rest of the year?
I feel like we got a great team. We got great opportunities, and we're going to take those opportunities. We're going to go ahead and go win state.
Well, hey, you were our player of the game. You have anything else to say before we go?
Nah, hey, y'all keep downing me. I like it.
Hey, keep down, Maximus the Great. Have a good night. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Maximus the Great Denson. King in the middle name, too. Yeah. I like that. Boy, his parents, we need to have his parents name more things. They do a great job.
Well, hey, he had, this is a Duncanville DeSoto game. This is the biggest game of the year before you get to the playoffs. And he had best game of his career so far. 7 touchdowns. My guy Aaron Williams just texted me over the stats. He was 23 of 31, 328 yards, 7 touchdowns. Trenton Yancey, 7 for 104 and 2 touchdowns. Theus had 8 catches for 109 yards, 2 touchdowns. And obviously Ellison had 2 touchdowns, 96 yards. Turner, 4 grabs, 37 yards, and a touchdown. So he was spreading the wealth.
I mean, when you can get it to all those different receivers, it makes everybody realize if I run the pattern and I get open, I'm going to get the football.
Yeah.
And it's all shared, as you can see. A lot of
doubting him, man. He's only got 2 offers. So whoever's doubting him, man, start throwing offers his way. He is great.
I know, seriously, that phone needs to be blowing up for that young man. As just a junior at 6'2", 190 pounds, but he found guys all over the field for Duncanville tonight as they rolled over DeSoto by 20 points. I'd like to thank everyone on the broadcast, Carl Harper, our director, our outstanding crew guiding us through this one, and they're going to be traveling to Portland, Oregon next week, and so will we for a fantastic game between Lake Oswego and West Linn. If they win tonight, and both games on the NFHS network, you can watch those. If they win, they will be undefeated. Both teams rolling into that game. The number 1 team in the state, West Linn, hosting the number 2 team, Lake Oswego, the Lakers, and taking on West Linn next week. We'll have that for you on our game of the week. Well, folks, thank everyone on our crew. I'd like to thank Chris Stonebreaker once again doing the hero's work, going into the crowd, interviewing band members, getting Pictionary games going. He does an outstanding job. I'd like to thank our MaxPreps social team as well. For my broadcast partner, Zach Poff, I am Jeff Kurtz saying so long from Duncanville High School. 48-28 your final on the MaxPreps Game of the Week.